Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Except that challenge you have on every single play.
Yep.
We fly around, we make plays, we do what we do, we dominate all game.
Yeah.
Playmakers on three. 1, 2, 3.
Playmakers. Watch out, boys. Watch out.
Well, Patrick Mahomes, the leader and the MVP of the Chiefs, as they are on the road looking to improve their record to 4-0 under Andy Reid, who has obviously done a magnificent job. 7th year as head coach, 28th season in the NFL for Andy Reid. And going against the Lions today, and Matt Patricia in his 2nd season. They got off to a decent start last year, an upset of the Patriots, struggled after that. This year they come in after a tough week 1, unbeaten. 2 big wins against playoff teams with the Chargers and Philadelphia. As Kansas City won the toss, they deferred Jamal Agnew, the big kickoff return for a touchdown. Back to receive for Detroit, and here we go. From the Motor City, the battle of unbeatens, and this one will have the Lions coming out and starting on their own 25-yard line. So here is Matthew Stafford and the Lions offense, and Stafford on the air. You see his numbers: 6 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Charles, I like what you said in the beginning. I mean, we know that Patrick Mahomes likes to bomb it away, but let's not forget that this guy likes to do the same thing. Just hasn't done it as much this year.
In our production meeting, you brought it up about Matthew Stafford saying, hey, how do you like the fact that Mahomes does all these off-platform throws and people go crazy? When you did them, you get criticized, and he got a kick out of that.
And they'll start it with a run to Kerryon Johnson, and he works his way for a 5-yard gain up to the 30. Against this Chiefs defense, which has gotten an overhaul this year, Charles. I mean, so far their results have been up and down. Hard to tell. They've had such big leads, to be honest. They've made a lot of changes, and they bring in a new defensive coordinator, too.
Yeah, Steve Spagnuolo, and he likes to challenge people from the defensive side, but the biggest thing he's concerned about, run defense. They got gashed by Baltimore for 203 yards in their last outing. They've got to tighten things up, and Kerryon Johnson got off to a nice start.
On 2nd down. 4-man rush. Stafford guns it over the middle. He's got a big completion. It's caught by Kenny Golladay right down the seam. And the Lions with a big play early to pick up 33.
How about Golladay, number 19, coming right down the seam. And right there you see the rookie, Juan Thornhill, 22, sitting down in the short zone and then having to come back and make the play. And look at Stafford. He doesn't even have to look anyone off. Golladay is so wide open. He just puts it on him right away for a big first down.
Go inverted wishbone here, and they will run the football, and not very much. There are some big players not playing in today's game due to injury for both teams, really. I mean, for the Chiefs, we know Tyreek Hill's been out. Eric Fisher, their left tackle, the Pro Bowler, out again, and they're starting running back Damian Williams. There's Tyreek Hill. The Lions have their number 1 corner, Darius Slay, out. Danny Amendola, their slot receiver, still reliable, and then Mike Daniels in their defensive tackle rotation. So big names out. We'll watch how it affects the game here today. Second down, they will run it again. Johnson, good hole, fighting his way near a first down, and he should have it. Well, the Lions have been committed to running this year, Charles, but the results haven't been there. But so far early, different story.
They like what they saw from the Baltimore tape. Watch these guys fire off and create a nice wall. And then from the backside, the rookie T.J. Hockenson, number 88, the rookie tight end, he comes down the line and turns upfield and delivers another key block that delivers Kerryon Johnson to the 3rd level of the defense, which is the secondary, before Thornhill has to make the hit.
Marvin Hall is checking to the game, a wide receiver at the bottom of your screen on a 3rd and 1, and we get a whistle. And we have a first timeout. Didn't see a signal for who called it. Oh, nonetheless, a timeout on the field early in the first quarter. Lions on the move in a scoreless game. You know, here we go, come back. Charles, turns out that the Lions challenged the spot on the play, and the ruling on the field stood. Here's why.
Yeah, none of this is exact, but that's as close as I can get approximating where the line to gain is, and the football in his left arm behind that line. I didn't think there's any way they could overturn that. That had to be what they called on the field.
So it's a 3rd and 1 with that being said. They will run it here, and they will pick up the first down. But with that challenge, a gutsy challenge for an interesting call, because now they lose the challenge and they lose a timeout. The big picture is they got one challenge for the rest of the game, and they cannot get another one.
But you know what it tells me on the flip side is that Matt Patricia is not playing this game. Hey, we're going to be close to the vest. We're just going to make sure we take care of the ball. They're trying to attack Kansas City. Remember what we said at the beginning, points are at a premium. He doesn't want to miss any opportunity to put points on the board. I think that might have been behind why he challenged that one.
Yeah, I would agree. All that being said, 1st and 10 from the 26. Stafford with time, gunning it, far side, caught Marvin Jones, 1st and goal. And just like you predicted, the Lions are firing at will. And here they are set up with a 1st and goal.
I realize we are in Hockeytown, USA. Now watch Tyrann Mathieu, number 32 in white. Back here covering, trying to see it. Can't get there in time. And he also doesn't get the help from Bashaud Breeland, 21, dropping in. A beautifully thrown football by Matthew Stafford. What I mean by Hockeytown, USA? What did Herb Brooks say in 1980? The only way to beat the Russian team, you have to attack them. And that's what the Lions are trying to do right now against Kansas City.
Kerryon Johnson in the backfield. He'll get it. Running right inside the 5. You know, I think you brought up on something interesting. We were talking to Matthew Stafford the other day and talking about, hey, you know, you were the guy that started the sidearm throws and the back foot throws. And he's like, yeah, you know, got criticized for it. But I do think deep down, this is one tough guy. I do think deep down there's a little part of him that said, hey, I would like to outshine Patrick Mahomes today. Don't you?
Listen, the old Lion wants to show the youngster that he was doing it long before he got around. And here in this first drive, he's making it happen.
Run it again. Johnson up the middle, fighting forward. He's going to be denied. Maybe down to the 2. And so a 3rd and goal from the 2.
You know, one thing you talked about earlier, Kevin, were the key inactives. And there are a lot of guys not playing who are key guys. But there's one who's playing hurt, and that's Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
He was on the injury list of Friday with a hip injury, and he's out there making throws, limping around. 132 straight starts as the quarterback is a serious toughness to Matthew Stafford.
Well, the Lions with a formation that I think.
This is the first.
Yeah. The Chiefs take a timeout. Lions brought out 3 tight ends, and Andy Reid called a timeout. So for the Lions, you know, part of it we talked about new offensive coordinator Dowell Bevell, and the line had some changes too. 2018, T.J. Lang, longtime really good pro, former Packer. Well, he was hurt a little bit last year too. He retired. Ragnow, the rookie, was at left guard. His natural position though was center. So that's where they shift him. They shift over Glasgow from center to right guard. He can play anywhere. It's kind of a chameleon. And then Joe Dahl, who would, you know, sometimes be a fullback for this team, is a starting left guard. So they like this formation. It's worked so far. They haven't allowed a sack in the last 2 weeks.
Worked very well for them. As you mentioned, Ragnow, natural center and also bigger to handle those big nose guards inside. And Glasgow, a little bit more athletic, able to pull and move laterally at guard. So it just made them better to put them in those slots.
Lions change the formation out of the Chiefs timeout. 3rd and goal from the 2. Stafford on the fake. Time. Looking. In trouble. And down he goes. He had time initially, but nobody was open, and Alex Okafor comes through with the sack.
Is it just me, or did you just mention that he hadn't been sacked in the last 2 games?
Of course, the typical announcer thing, right?
Well, why? Because the coverage was good. Hockenson is trying to stay in and help block. He's going to peel out later, so there wasn't anything there. But the rest of the coverage was good by Kansas City in this situation. So there's nowhere for Stafford to deliver the football, and that allowed the pass rush to finally get there. Look at the effort there by Chris Jones, number 95. That effort making Stafford step up into the arms of the pass rusher there for Kansas City. Who was that? Okafor.
Prater, extra point, shorter than an extra point. It was only a 25-yard field goal. So disappointing for the Lions. They went down the field but had to settle for 3. They take the early lead, though, here in Detroit. So a 10-play drive for the Lions, but they get a little bit short. Have to settle for a 25-yard field goal, and a couple nice throws from Matthew Stafford. Couldn't get the run game to go, and he had time on the last throw, but nobody was open. But it's interesting, Charles, when we met with him on Friday, he said field goals are not going to get it done in this game. So I'm sure there's a little twinge of disappointment despite the fact they scored.
Yeah, they'll take the 3, knowing that in this type of game versus what you've seen from Kansas City, You got to find the end zone more often than not.
Here's Pringle on the return of the kick with a hurdle and works his way out to the 25-yard line, maybe the 26, and that's where we get our first look at Patrick Mahomes, the MVP, who has been just unbelievable. I mean, even better this September than last September. Well, look, career in September, how about this? 6-0, 70% completions, 348 yards per game, and 23 touchdowns, no interceptions in September. Unfortunately for the Lions, it's still September.
Calendar hasn't turned over yet, has it?
So you get the idea. The guy's been great, and as you called him in the newspaper this week, a rock star. And the Lions playing without their #1 cornerback in Darius Slay. Here's Mahomes. They give it to McCoy on the ground. A reverses field coming all the way back, and that's just not going to work. Tracy Walker, the second-year safety, was there to make the play for a loss of 1. So Patrick Mahomes, I mean, he was amazing last year, obviously, with what he did the first 3 games overall, clearly. He's better, 72%. He's averaging 400 yards a game passing. I mean, this is all you need to know. He had 374 yards passing in the win over Baltimore last week. That was his worst outing of the year. What? 2nd and 11. As Mahomes on the fake, will throw and go far side. It is Kelce who muscles his way for a first down. Getting the big tight end, Travis Kelce, going.
And notice where he was lined up as a wide receiver, split all the way out to the left. Long throw for Mahomes means nothing to him. He can make all the throws. But Travis Kelce, that piece on offense where you can put him at tight end, you can flex him, you can use him as a wide receiver. He can almost be a running back on the shovel passes. The do-it-all tight end who's an all-pro.
On first down, Mahomes slings it across the middle. Beautifully done. He's got the 3rd tight end, Deon Yelder, rumbling away for a huge gain all the way down to the 39-yard line of Detroit.
Do you think Deon Yelder said to Patrick Mahomes this week, you realize I don't have a catch this year, Mr. Quarterback. Can you help a brother out? And look at this. Right on spot, puts it on him.
Matter of fact, that's his first NFL catch, let alone this year.
Can you help me out? Everyone else is catching the ball. I'm out there too.
Very quickly, the Chiefs on the move. Here is Mahomes. Little pressure. Fires far side to McCoy in the flat. And good tackle out there as McCoy had some room to run, but he was taken care of. As we get our first game break of the day already, let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
And the first home start for Daniel Jones, and his first series ends in a touchdown. Hooks up with Wayne Gallman, who's in for the injured Saquon Barkley. Just like that, Giants lead it 7-0 on top of Washington. Kevin, Charles, and Pan.
Oh, those Daniel Jones jerseys selling like hotcakes. It went from being who to yay in a hurry. 2nd and 8. Mahomes on the RPO, fires over the middle. He's got a man wide open. And would you believe it? Back-to-back passes for the 3rd-string tight end who didn't have an NFL catch until 10 minutes ago. Yelder getting it done for a gain of 19.
So the Lions, watch the safeties. They're getting back, okay? And they're taking away anything that's deep. But Patrick Mahomes has the patience to let the intermediate routes develop. Okay, I don't have to force it downfield. And as you just noted, Kevin, here comes Deon Yelder, back-to-back catches, both of them in between the defensive backs and the linebackers because of the depth the DBs are getting to prevent the deep ball.
Remember, they doubled Zach Ertz a lot last week in the win over Philadelphia. You know they're going to pay attention to Travis Kelce here today. Here's Mahomes. Pressure, pocket closing down, floats it out of bounds, just getting rid of it. Detroit had good pressure that time from A'Shawn Robinson in the middle. As you look at this Lions defense, Charles, and you know, they've done a nice job. They don't blitz a lot, but they've done a real nice job so far, especially in the win in Philadelphia. They frustrated them.
Yeah, and I think that defensive front is a big reason why, because as you just called A'Shawn Robinson's name, Snacks Harrison inside, Trey Flowers now rounding into form. There's Paul Pasqualoni, the defensive coordinator. They make it hard for you to run the football. I'm eager to see if Andy Reid just decides to abandon the run today, because he might not be able to make headway inside with that offensive line versus that front. and just say, Patrick Mahomes, we're going to throw it 50 times.
Play clock at 1. They'll get it off. Mahomes being chased. Sidearm fires and out of bounds. Devon Kennard got some pressure. Christian Jones was the guy who came up with the lick. And a 3rd and 10 coming up.
So watch the pressure coming at Mahomes, okay? And then as he exits the pocket, the coverage downfield is excellent by Melvin. But because here comes the late pressure with Christian Jones, he can't get set and make a strong throw. And because Melvin had tight coverage, Robinson ran out of space on the sideline.
Told you the Lions defense has been pretty good this year, but they have struggled on 3rd down, 25th in the league in this department. 3rd and 10 for the Chiefs. Mahomes, pressure coming, hit as he throws, going corner of the end zone, incomplete. There is a penalty flag down on the play, though. So let's hear from Walt Anderson for the first time, our referee, and see what this is all about.
Illegal motion, number 17, offense. Penalty is declined, 4th down.
I think you identified why that wasn't a touchdown. Pressure. Because that pressure did not allow Patrick Mahomes to really put the ball where he needed to. And that pressure caused the throw to go awry. Without that pressure, receivers wide open back there. Kansas City's ringing the bell. So that defensive front already exerting their will.
Yeah, you're right, Charles. Nice job after the Chiefs quickly went down the field. And now here is Harrison Butker from 36 yards out. Try and tie this game. High snap put down and no good. 21 consecutive field goals on the road. That's now over. And the Lions with a big stand here in Detroit. Just missed it. Lions defense making a statement. 3-zip, they lead. Well, Matt Patricia liked the miss of the field goal for Butker. Yeah, it's not as enemy like that. 3-0 Lions lead. Each team moved the ball in the opening drive. Lions connected on their field goal. Kansas City did not. A big run, maybe a face mask too, and there are a couple of flags flying. Obviously trying to get Kerryon Johnson going, and so far he's had some nice holes to run through, and this will be an additional 15.
Personal foul, face mask, number 98, defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
And truthfully, I'm not sure he got the face mask. It looked like it because the ball was up in the face mask area, and he had the football, so it's understandable why the call's made. But I'm not sure he actually got the face mask. It's a difficult call there. Let's take a look. Right there, see, he's got football. That's not mask. And it's not a challenge. It's not a play that you can challenge, so it has to go. But let's go back to the blocking on that play. What we're seeing the Lions offensive front do is that they are positioning Kansas City either left or right, one way or the other, and the running back's cutting back the opposite way. It's like they're building a wall with their offensive front, and the running back's reading it, cutting off of it, and gaining nice yardage.
It's McKissick in motion. Had a big run last week. Stafford stands back, throws. Oh, what a catch and a flag. No, it comes loose. Incomplete, and a flag flies as well. Going to the rookie tight end Hawkinson, who had his hands on it, but now we'll see what the penalty is.
Holding, number 35, defense. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is completed pass. 1st down.
Oh, they called that a completed pass.
Wow.
He didn't come up. I thought the process of the catch was you had to hold it all the way through. If I'm
complete. Pass was ruled incomplete.
There you go.
35 defense. That'll
right here. See the arm hooking him. Okay, thank you, Walt Anderson, getting it correct for us.
I'm sorry. Did Walt Anderson drop a my bad on us?
He did drop a my bad.
I like
you know
it.
Something that just makes him just like one of us.
Exactly.
I love it.
I love that. So he thought it was rule complete. So did I initially.
I know he and his crew had a struggle with the Los Angeles Rams Saints game. Walt Anderson has refereed a Super Bowl. He's one of the top guys we have in our business. It happens.
The ruling was incomplete, 5-yard holding penalty. That's where we are. Lions 1st and 10 at the Kansas City 45.
Notice how the Lions are staying aggressive, though, running the ball very well and then taking good shots downfield.
Stafford blitz picked up. Stafford lofting it deep, going for Marvin Hall, incomplete. He had really good coverage by Charvarius Ward, who the penalty was just on a moment ago. Let's get another game break. Check back in with Kurt.
Well, Kevin Charles, for those that say Baker Mayfield always rolls out to his right, here's proof that it's not always. To his left he goes and he finds Ricky Seals-Jones wide open for a 9-yard score. Opening drive, 7 of 8, 87 yards, and that touchdown for Mayfield. That's how they have the lead at Baltimore.
That's a big game in that division. Big one. Baltimore off to such a terrific start. Played Kansas City tough last week. Cleveland trying to gain their footing again.
McKissick in the game. Right side runs into a brick wall. Looked like there was a big hole there initially, but Damian Wilson with a stop, and there is another flag on the field as well.
Illegal motion, number 11, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
It's on Marvin Jones. So Marvin Jones moved towards the line a little earlier. There's Darrell Bevell, of course, many years in Seattle. And just hear that Walt Anderson said that the Chiefs have declined the penalty, so they'll make it 3rd and 10. But Darrell Bevell comes over here, first year in Detroit. He was out of football last year. You know, all those years in Seattle, of course, 2 Super Bowl trips, the 1 Super Bowl win with the Seahawks. And fascinating in the sense that he had no relationship with Matt Patricia. It's pretty rare for a guy to join a staff that's already intact when you don't have any kind of relationship. And we'll get into that as the game goes on, because first, officially, it's a 3rd and 9 after the Chiefs decline the penalty. And they show blitz, but they back off. Stafford stands in down the middle. Oh, beauty on target. And a big catch again to Marvin Jones. 33 more yards to Marvin Jones, who had the big game last week. He's off to a flying start.
And Kansas City put speed on the field. They had 6 defensive backs in this set. Excellent protection. And Matthew Stafford, look how he drops this one over the defender and to his receiver before the second defender can get there. He dropped it right over Kendall Fuller, 29, and in front of Bashaud Breeland, 21, and he takes it in for a big, big play.
Matthew Stafford, 3 or 4 for 85 yards so far. Off to a good start. Back to throw. Quick stop and incomplete. Looking for Marvin Jones, but way high. It'll be a 2nd down and 10.
Kevin, early in this ball game, we talked about how Detroit was not likely to back down or back off. Points are at a premium. We've got to score. We've got to put pressure on Kansas City. Matthew Stafford is throwing the ball to hurt here early in the game. He's not taking checkdowns. He's not taking swings. When he goes back in the pocket, he's thinking downfield, gash him with big-time throws.
They'll run it. Johnson, patient, left side, head down inside the 5. And the Lions can get a 1st down at the 1, so he's got a little less than 4 yards to go on 3rd down.
And if you're Steve Spagnuolo, the new defense coordinator, your worst fears are being realized early. Yes, they're throwing the ball downfield with success. That's not what concerns him. What concerns is what you just saw there. That type of run from Kerryon Johnson is a continuation from their struggle last week trying to slow down Mark Ingram and Gus Edwards in Baltimore.
It's Johnson in motion now. Comes back in the backfield on a 3rd and 4. Stafford looks right, not there, now over the middle. That's there! It's a touchdown to the rookie Hockenson.
Watch Hockenson. He's going to end up back here in the end zone. Just finds an open space. Really good pass protection from his offensive lineman. Allows Matthew Stafford to step in. Look at that clear vision. Perfect sight lines right through the traffic to the rookie from Iowa, TJ Hockenson, for the 1st touchdown of the game.
2nd touchdown of the year for the rookie, who had the monster week 1, quiet last 2 weeks. And he's on the board here, and what a start for the Detroit Lions. We asked at the beginning, are the Lions for real? How's this for an early answer? 2 drives, a field goal. This the big connection. 33 yards to Marvin Jones that set it up. And then Kerryon Johnson running hard, and then Stafford firing darts. Fist pump and all. 10-zip. Lions. What a start for the Lions. TJ Hockenson with his second touchdown on the year. A surgical drive using both the run and the pass. Matter of fact, they've run the ball 9 times, 7 pass plays. Great balance so far, and it's working. Going down the field pretty easily on their opening 2 possessions to go up 10-0.
And you know, it has to feel, obviously Stafford feels great, the offense feels great, but I think that offensive line has got to feel terrific, because right now they're having their way, whether they're deciding to run the ball or pass it. They're holding up well against Kansas City.
And Pringle's going to take it out from 6 yards deep, and that is not going to work. A terrible decision for Byron Pringle, and the Chiefs backed up. Let's go down the sidelines of the third member of our crew. It's Pam Oliver.
Hey there, Kevin. Well, it is Patrick Mahomes' world, and we are all just living in it. Of course, the Lions didn't take that attitude coming into this game, but Matt Patricia talked about it is very, very difficult to find a weakness in his game, but he's confident in the plan they put together for him today. Mahomes, meantime, says, sure, defenses are adjusting, and I have to adjust to that. He also said, be aggressive, but you have to take what they give us.
Pam, thanks. You can hear how loud it is in here when we open up Pam's mic. This place is fired up. It's McCoy, second carry of the game. This one a lot better than the last. He's going to pick up about 4 yards on the carry. Charles, I'm interested today how the Lions play this defensively. Without their number 1 cornerback, they're a team that does not blitz a lot at all. Matter of fact, second lowest in the league blitz percentage.
Well, what we've seen early is that they're going to be deep, right? The defensive, the safeties, deep is the deepest, and keep everything in front if at all possible. The best throws from Mahomes early have been those intermediate throws to Deion Yelder, his tight end. Got one to Travis Kelce out there. They may have to work that game for a while before they get back to their deeper shots.
On second down, Mahomes sees pressure, launches way deep. Nobody home except Detroit, and Walker tried in earnest to get there. Actually, it was Quandre Diggs, excuse me, not Walker, the other safety, but it's just incomplete.
Matt Patricia and Paul Pasqualoni's defense, they are not letting Patrick Mahomes really get comfortable back there. See, as he tries to step up, big body out in front right there made it tough for him to throw the football and have his sight line downfield. And I think that look there, as you see Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator, that look there was someone didn't run the proper route.
Third down, 4-man rush. Mahomes looking. Now he's going to run a lot of room. First down and then some. Mahomes all the way out across the 40. There was just nobody home. He's always looking downfield, but that time, no need. Just run it.
So take a look here and see what Mahomes is seeing. All right, right there as he has to exit out because now the pressure is coming right there. So he's got to get out and go. And I'm not sure if he's looking at the official thinking maybe there was a penalty there or if he was just trying to, hey, Walt, did you see what I saw? I thought I saw a penalty or something in there. But instead, he hot puts it for a first down, and Pam Oliver just told us, Patrick Mahomes did say, we got to take what they give us, and he took it there with a run.
Yes, he did. 25 yards. Speaking of run, they'll do that here. And for the first time, Darrell Williams. I got to look at this shot again with Walt Anderson. I'm not sure what Patrick was doing. Maybe just giving him a wink. Good to see you.
I think maybe you might marry it with what happened in the offensive line, because I'm wondering if he's looking at Walt Anderson thinking there might be a flag coming. You know, he may have seen where he thought, because you saw how the pressure came at him, and all of a sudden the guy got washed down. I wonder if he thought possibly that maybe there might be a hold on his offensive front, and maybe he wouldn't have to go out there and make that kind of run.
12 players on the defense in formation with the snap imminent. That's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, when you're mixing and matching defenses, trying to mix and match personnel, that can happen to you. And remember, as you pointed out, Kevin, their number 1 cover guy, Darius Slay, is not in the lineup. So that means you got a change there. Mike Ford becomes the starter, but it changes other roles as well. And sometimes you get some early confusion about who should be out there and who shouldn't.
And right now, Will Harris is out there, number 25. He's matched up on top with Travis Kelce instead of Darius Slay.
That's a matchup. If I'm Kansas City, I'd like to take a shot there.
Here's Mahomes. This time he's got time. He's got a man wide open. It's Watkins. Sammy Watkins on the run. Makes a move, and he's down inside the 15. First time a wide receiver gets in and makes a catch today for Kansas City. And Watkins delivers for 31 yards.
Okay, watch what these guys do here because they keep Patrick Mahomes clean, which allows enough time for number 14, number 14, Sammy Watkins, to really cross the field. And have you seen, Kevin, early in this game, the best routes for Kansas City have been those kind of crossers or over routes. When they protect Mahomes and they can run away from the coverage, so much the better.
Two tight ends will run it to McCoy inside the 10 for LaShawn McCoy. It picks up 5, and we get another flag on the field. I think there is a flag. There is a penalty flag at about the 7, so let's see what this one is. Could be the end of the first quarter, depending.
Illegal hands to the face, number 40, defense. Half the distance to the goal from the end of the run, automatic first down.
So, a penalty, it'll set up a 1st and goal for Kansas City when we start the start of the second quarter. All Lions in the first, but the Chiefs knocking on the doorstep when we come back.
Kansas City has the option on a defensive foul.
So we're back. The Chiefs, because of the penalty in the quarter ending, because of the defensive penalty, they had the option to do one on-time play still going in this direction. So, of course, why not take the option and have one more offensive play? So technically we're at the end of the first quarter now, 1st and goal. Mahomes, fake, another one, inside middle screen, and Kelsey has played well. Boy, heck of a play design, but give credit to the Lions. They did not fall for it at all as Jared Davis, the guy who had the penalty, makes a tackle, and now the first quarter is over. So the Chiefs take the advantage. They take the extra play. A lot of chicanery, no dice. Break, second quarter coming up next. So we start the second quarter here in Detroit, 10-0 Lions, and no points in the first quarter again for the Chiefs, which is kind of weird, last 3 games. But I guess I should follow that up by telling you in the second quarter they're insane. Plus 51 in the second quarter on the year. They've outscored their opponents 57-6. And so we start this second quarter. They're down 10-0, but a second down and goal from the 7. Mahomes to LaShawn McCoy, dancing his way inside the 5. Big injury just a moment ago. Let's go down and check in with Pam.
Yeah, Kevin, the Lions secondary has another man down. Safety Quandre Diggs. He came off the field during this Chiefs scoring drive. We don't have anything official on that injury. I watched him go back to the locker room. As soon as we know, I'll share it.
And Pam, that means Tavon Wilson, a longtime veteran, will have to come in and fill that role, as well as mixing in Will Harris, the rookie out of Boston College.
Wilson, number 32, on the goal line right now. 3rd and goal for the Chiefs. Mahomes, a lot of time over the middle. It's an easy, it's incomplete, knocked away. It was an easy touchdown, but Justin Coleman came in and knocked it out. And hang on, now there's a flag in the end zone.
What a play here by Coleman.
Pass interference, number 87, offense. 10-yard penalty is declined. Penalty is declined, 4th down.
That was a tremendous play.
Look at Coleman punching and literally punching it. Do you see how he made his hand into a fist to go onto the football? Look at that. And there it is. Somewhere, Peanut Tillman has a smile on his face. The peanut punch. Because what a beautiful job by Coleman, understanding he was beat. Here's my one opportunity, and he took it going for the football.
Of course, it was a penalty on the Chiefs, so if it was caught, it wouldn't have counted anyway. Now they'll settle for a field goal. Butker's already missed one today. This from 23 yards out. And it's up and good. And so the Chiefs have moved the ball, but haven't found the end zone. Lions with a touchdown lead early second quarter. 10-3 Lions, early second quarter. That man, number 27, Justin Coleman, with a heck of a, he's showing you, that's the peanut punch. Boom. Because that was an easy touchdown to Sammy Watkins, and he destroyed the play.
It was, and you see Patrick Mahomes going over what they saw on offense, but you go back to Justin Coleman, and you think about Matt Patricia trying to get his kind of guys on this roster. Justin Coleman, New England, Seattle. Super Bowls in both places, right? Guy understands that in those places you defend every inch on every play. He brings that here to Detroit, and it shows up in this ball game.
He also got $36 million to come here, so.
Oh, okay. Well, besides the $36 million.
That's a nice addition. Friday Night SmackDown premieres on Fox in 5 days. It's a star-studded 20th anniversary event. Join Hulk Hogan, Roman Reigns, The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, all together on WWE's biggest night. Don't miss Friday Night SmackDown, Friday, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, only on Fox.
Think Roman Reigns has another pass rush in him? Played at Georgia Tech?
He certainly could. I wouldn't put it past him. Here's the quarterback comparison so far. They're both playing well. Stafford has really been on point, throwing lasers today and playing hurt. Remember, limited in practice Friday with a hip injury. He's tough. And this one's incomplete. The 132nd consecutive start by Stafford today.
He's played through a lot of dings, a lot of aches and pains. And with the way this team is playing here early and how he feels about this roster, this locker room, there is no way he was missing today. There's his new OC, Darrell Bevell, formerly with Seattle, out of football last year. Spent a lot of time traveling around, watching tape, acquiring new ideas and techniques.
Fake to Ty Johnson over the middle, and acrobatic catch by Golladay. Went up and got it. First down, Detroit. Pickup of 13.
Their ability to run the football allows them to run these RPOs and play actions, and what a tremendous catch. Because Hitchens' hand probably obscured his vision a little bit. He had to stay focused on the football and got it all the way in.
And balance so far. That's normally the way that Bevell likes it. Another fake. Stafford now. Johnson in the flat, and the rookie gets swarmed. Not too many places to go over there. It's interesting with Darrell Bevell coming over, right? I mean, we know about his success in Seattle, and he had the whole year off last year. And, you know, like you said, once the sting wore off, there's actually a lot of good came out of it, right? I mean, when you look at what he did, he traveled with his daughter Morgan with the BYU softball team, got to be with her every single game. And he said he watched a ton of film on everybody and obviously stayed in touch with a lot of people. Has a short run here. And I think this speaks to a lot of the character of Bevell. Again, he didn't know Patricia. They met and they hit it off. Their philosophy was the same. So we all know about Darrell Bevell with the Super Bowl. They didn't run it to Marshawn Lynch. They got intercepted, right? Obviously, it is what it is. After the Patriots beat the Falcons in the Super Bowl,
The big comeback.
Matt Patricia told us an unbelievable story about when after the game, Bill Belichick,
and Josh McDaniels
all on the bus, and what happened?
And Josh McDaniels' phone lights up with a text from Darrell Bevell saying, "Hey, thanks a lot for throwing the ball on the goal line." Because that helped them win the ball game.
Here Stafford is buried. The Chiefs get through with heavy pressure, and Chris Jones was there. Alex Okafor helped out, and the Lions will have to punt.
I mean, this was something. You talk about getting at it and coming at them in a hurry. All right. That's Chris Jones. Look at that. Just beats Joe Dahl right away, and he did it with hand usage. That almost looked like a martial arts move that you learned at the local dojo. Where's our guy Glaze with the MMA? Getting those guys trained. Did you see how he used those hands? Shed Joe Dahl and just came right up the gut. And he was on Matthew Stafford before he had a chance.
Be the first punt of the game for either team. D'Anthony Thomas, one punt return touchdown in his career. Chris Jones coming off an unreal year. Explain to me how you have 15.5 sacks as a lineman and don't make the Pro Bowl, but that's what happened with him. Wobbly punt, short two. Thomas looking to get to the edge, and he is swarmed. And the ball is out, and Kansas City recovers it, and I think they blew it down anyway. Boy, that was a short punt. Could have been a big return, but the Lions played it exceptionally well. And so the Chiefs will take over, finding themselves down a touchdown with 11:17 to go in this first half. So it's been a fun game so far. The Chiefs went down the field. Butker missed an easy field goal, and then this looked like a touchdown. Justin Coleman, fantastic play. So a couple of missed opportunities for the Chiefs offense. They've moved the ball, but you see the missed field goal and then that play by Coleman. So instead of tying the game up, they had to settle for a field goal. Lions playing well, up 10-3, 11:17 to go here in the first quarter from Detroit. Along with Pam Oliver, Charles Davis, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Glad to have you aboard. Fun one, week 4. The NFL on Fox, and here is Mahomes and the Chiefs from their own 26. Four-man rush. Really a three-man rush. Mahomes airing it out deep. Got a man and just misconnected. Boy, it looked like Robinson had a beat on the coverage. And it falls incomplete as Melvin was on the coverage. Let's get another game break. This time, say hello to Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kevin. So upset brewing in Indy. Raiders up 14-7. Derek Carr finds Tyrell Williams for this 19-yard score. Williams, by the way, now has a touchdown in all 4 games as a Raider. Raiders leading this one 21-7. Kevin, Charles, and Pam.
They need it. That was weird, Charles. I thought Robinson had a beat there and just didn't see the ball.
It looked like he just kind of stumbled at the end, unable to continue running under the football.
Rolling pocket coming near side. They get back to Robinson that time. And he's going to pick up out to the 31-yard line. This will be the 3rd and 5. Let's go back and look at that last play.
So you'll see him going downfield on number 11 in white, hand fighting with Melvin, number 29 in blue. And just unable to continue running under the football.
Weird.
I don't know if it looked like his stride got thrown off and that knocked him to the ground. And how about these Lions wearing those 1934 throwback uniforms today?
I like it. 3rd and 5. Darwin Thompson in the game at running back. That's him going in motion. Mahomes lofting it incomplete. He was trying to get Hardman, the speedster, out, and he had him, but Mahomes just missed it. And the Chiefs just a little off kilter on that drive, and they'll have to punt it away.
I think the Detroit rush has affected them early, but in the last couple of throws, it hasn't been the rush as much as you just noted, just a little bit off in their timing.
And all of a sudden, Patrick Mahomes is 3 of his last 9.
In the first 3 games, that's a completion. I think you've hit on to something. So far, off kilter just a tad on offense.
Return, Agnew at the 15, makes a man miss, not the next. And he's taken down by Sorensen right around there. Detroit football up 10-3 here from Motown. You know, Pam Oliver told us to take a look at this over on the sidelines because the meeting has gotten bigger. Usually maybe Patrick will go over, sit with Eric Bieniemy. Maybe Andy Reid comes over and checks. They had about 6 or 7 people in that meeting.
Quarterback coach Mike Kafka was over there for a while too. So I think we had a quorum. So if the vote was in.
It's not often you see the Chiefs getting frustrated in our offense, but the Lions have done a great job. Up 10-3 their football here in the second quarter. Stafford on the fake. Pressure up the middle. And he gets decked and loses the football. And the Chiefs say they have it. Let's see. And the pressure from Kansas City the last 2 series starting to get to Matthew Stafford as they uncover the pile. And Detroit holds on to the football.
Is that Chris Jones who wreaked havoc again?
Yes.
Because you mentioned 15.5 sacks last year. Look at 95, and look how he goes right for the football. We saw Justin Coleman did it for the Lions earlier. Chris Jones does it for Kansas City now.
Holding number 54, defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
So a terrific play by Jones is wiped away because holding call against Kansas City.
And so Jones is like, wait a second, I had my 2nd sack of the game. Now that's off the board. And so the defensive hold on Kansas City will move Detroit. Charles, the pressure all of a sudden starting to get through now the last couple series where they weren't earlier in the game. Let's look at the penalty.
Right there. Damian Wilson, number 54, had his hands around the waist of Kenny Golladay, number 19, in Honolulu blue. I just love saying Honolulu blue. I can't help it, Kevin. That's just such a cool color and a great name for it.
It's a good look. See all the Lions greats are here today.
Oh, man, how cool was that down on the sidelines in pregame to see all those guys?
Walked by Barry Sanders.
Oh, they're going to announce the all-time Lions team at halftime here today.
Here's a run. Kerryon Johnson left side, tripped up. Well, that could have been a huge run. Still turned out to be pretty fortuitous, so he's going to get about 5 yards.
Did you get the sense there, Kevin, that Darrell Bevel looked down at his play sheet and said exactly what you just saw? This pressure is starting to get to my quarterback a little bit. Let me try and tamp it down a little. And got back to the run there with Kerryon Johnson.
We'll run it again. And nowhere to go, and a penalty flies as well. Darren Lee was there. Chris Jones pressure again. He's starting to really destroy this game.
Somebody better decide they're going to block number 95 in white, because if they don't,
number
he's going to wreck
77,
everything.
Offense, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
And that was Frank Ragnow that they got in the center, right? Was it 77 they said? So look here in the interior and watch where they're coming. Look at that. Look how quick Chris Jones got out of his stance and just get right inside the gap. And was there almost at the handoff. Look at that. Kerryon Johnson gets it, and there's Chris Jones already making a play. Ragnow trying to get him, had no chance coming out of his stance. Jones coming out of a sprinter stance there.
Lions have a new left guard. Kenny Wiggins is in for Joe Dahl this series. Not sure if that's performance or an injury. Stafford coming near side and has a completion out across the 20. It's the fullback, Nick Bawden. And it's going to bring up a third down and long. Yeah, so Wiggins coming in. Dahl's the starter, number 66 at left guard.
He and Wiggins had a big battle in training camp. Dahl ended up winning the battle, but Wiggins has been getting some time as the season has gone on. So I'm not sure this is performance related as much as they've decided that they're going to give him some opportunities as well.
Very possibly. Tom Kennedy, who they just signed in, he's a professional lacrosse player, by the way. Top of your screen, he's never touched a football in an NFL game. We'll watch him on a 3rd and 10 blitz coming. Stafford rolls away, coming near side, bobbled. He had the tightest of tight windows to get it in there, and they could not connect.
Did Breeland get his hand on the football right at the end of it? Bashaud Breeland, number 21. See how he gets his head back and he sees it and he gets up, got it, and right through his hands, but he obscures the vision there of Galladay, and that ball goes awry. Nice job by Bashaud Breeland falling back in coverage and finding the football.
Yeah, it's a good call, partner. I think if anything, just enough to make that impossible.
And Kansas City starting to get their legs a little bit on defense now after the early rush by Detroit.
Here's the punt. Hardman back to receive the punt, and will do so out of bounds right around the 30-yard line as we check in with Curt Menefee.
Coming up on the Visa halftime, the Browns are trying to pull out a win in Baltimore. The Patriots look to hand the Bills their first loss, and the Raiders attempt to upset the Colts. It's all next on the Visa halftime.
All right, Kurt, look forward to that. 10-3 our score here in Detroit. Plenty of time to go in the half still. 8:10 to go in this first half. We told you the second quarter has been all Chiefs this year. They've outscored their opponents 57-6. And even though they moved the ball on the first 2 drives but couldn't capitalize, last drive they were out of sync. This Lions defense has done a good job despite being now down 2 in the secondary. Slay inactive today, and Quandre Diggs, as Pam told us, went back to the locker room with a hamstring, as he is not in there. They'll go the run game in a huge hole. LeSean McCoy, look at the moves. McCoy still going, gets a great block from Watkins all the way down to the 31-yard line. LeSean McCoy breaks free for 39.
So watch it start this way, but watch McCoy back that way. Excellent job with the vision. Remember early in the game we were talking about how Detroit's offensive line was moving Kansas City and allowing the cutback runs? Look at the vision of LeSean McCoy finding the open space, the eyes darting left and right to find where there was room to run.
Shady McCoy still has it. 31 years old, 48 yards on the ground on 5 carries after that big one as Darrell Williams replaces him on a 1st and 10. Fake it to him. Mahomes is all day, fires over the middle. It's Kelce. First down, Travis Kelce works his way down to the 17-yard line. Tavon Wilson was there on the coverage. He's the one that's playing for Diggs in the secondary.
Now watch Kelce. He kind of walks in motion. Now watch him go upfield. Gets an easy release, and then he notices right there, a lot of guys would have kept the route going out towards the sideline and run into traffic. But Travis Kelce understood the coverage. If I just stay in this spot, my quarterback will find me, and that he did.
Williams on the run on first down, and a good game. Picks up 5. The Chiefs go in the ground game a little bit. At first didn't look like they were going to go in that direction that much, but maybe get a little sync going here, trying to do so. And remember, they're playing without Damian Williams, who's their starter. Got hurt 2 weeks ago against the Raiders, still out.
But Eric Bieniemy, there you see him on the right, the offense coordinator, works against Paul Pascal, the defensive coordinator. He told me we coach all of our backs like they're the starters anyway, so that if they do have to play, they're ready to go.
Mahomes pressure, dumps it over to the middle. Hardman gets down to the 5, fighting, and he's going to be stopped there, but it's good enough. And now a backflip, and the Chiefs want a penalty as he's pushed backward, and they get it.
Because we've seen, if this is indeed the call, we've seen this earlier this year. You know, we get that great tape from Mike Pereira and Dean Blandino about the guys doing kind of the WWE body slam at the end.
Personal foul,
They're calling
unnecessary
it.
roughness, number 38 defense. After this, it's to the goal, first down.
That's a good call. That's clearly the rule. Mike Ford, the penalty's on. You cannot take a guy and flip him over and drive him into the ground. You're right.
Nope, you cannot. Look, we'll be starting that October 2nd right here on Fox. You'll see the suplexes, right? See the figure fours, the whole deal. But on that play, that's a big one against Mike Ford and his crew.
So the catch to Hardman, the penalty, 1st and goal from the 2. McCoy's back in the game at tailback. Give it to McCoy, who is working his way down to the 1.
I know they didn't get in, but they give you a lot of looks, don't they? Did you see the formation for Kansas City? Double tights on the wings. Everyone's in tight. Then they take Hardman. And watch Hardman. He'll circle back, right? So here comes Hardman coming this way. And then the handoff will come in here. So they want to give you a lot of looks to try and get the eyes of the defense going into the wrong places. Just one false step can mean the difference of touchdown or making the tackle.
On the RPO again, they'll run it again, and I don't think so. McCoy is down to about the half-yard line. It'll be a 3rd and goal.
If this is Tom Brady, if this is Drew Brees, his quarterback sneak right here, where the ball's going to be placed, what does Kansas City decide to do on this one?
They don't really do that too often with Mahomes.
Take a look at the end. Did he find a way to get the ball across the line? Nope. And a good job there. Whose knee is that? Tavon Wilson, 32. The knee prevents the ball from getting extended.
Chiefs have been down here twice. They have only a field goal to show for it. 3rd and goal. Mahomes will run it again. McCoy, this time he gets in for the touchdown.
KB, he did not do the sneak, but did you see the footwork of Patrick Mahomes? He showed pass while handing it off to Shady. So if you're looking at him and the defense is focused, his footwork was passes coming and then slipped it inside to McCoy for the touchdown.
And so McCoy, the big plays on that drive, on a 70-yard drive, and now the extra point by Butker is up. And we're tied with 4:13 to go in this first half.
So watch here, Mahomes, all right? The footwork, did you see the footwork there? The footwork was, I'm throwing a pass. Because you saw how his legs got extended and got splayed out a little wide. And then that way, see, look at his eyes. He's showing you, hey, I'm looking for a receiver. Slip it to my guy and let Shady find the end zone.
McCoy with the big run on the drive. He's got 8 carries, 50 yards, and now a touchdown. He had 2 touchdowns last week. Then the signal from Mahomes. And on your point, Charles, you know, you talked about the different looks, right? And how they show you so much there. Mahomes doing it with his eyes. I thought Matt Patricia said something interesting. He said the hard thing about them, he's got so much respect for Andy Reid. He said the hard thing is they give you so much to look at. It's really hard just to go and tee off on the guy in front of you because you have to always look around. And that's kind of case in point, right?
I talked to Joe Thomas, the perennial all-pro offensive lineman with Cleveland who retired just a couple of years ago. And he said all of what you just talked about, Kevin, helps an offensive line immeasurably because it slows the defense's reactions down. Just what you said, they can't tee off. So now as an offensive lineman, you gain an advantage because they can't just come rushing at you. They're waiting to see what you're going to do.
Here's Patrick Mahomes in his first 20 games. We're in Motown, so we're going to spin the record, right? And what he's done is, well, he's spun the football quite a bit. Passing yards, yeah, that's the most in the first 20 games in the league. Passing touchdowns, 60, also the most in the first 20 games by a quarterback in NFL history. Patrick Mahomes, not too shabby.
I think you had a theme going there. Most. And right now he's having a really rough day for Patrick Mahomes' standards, right?
Yeah.
9 of 16, 112. Other people would be excited with it.
Well, Lions going back to the run game, and a big run indeed for Kerryon Johnson all the way out to the 35. And by the way, they bring Dahl back in at left guard that time, number 66.
So now you're getting everyone feeling like they can get to the quarterback. So they tee off and get upfield. Nice block there by Bawden, the fullback, on a blitzing linebacker, number 53, Anthony Hitchens. And that hole opens up big, and Kerryon Johnson explodes. How excited is he? Just 36 yards last week in their victory at Philadelphia.
Staying with him, Charles. He's got 47 yards on the ground now. They fake it to him here. This time Stafford's got time, and they get it on the cross to Marvin Hall. Nice play call, and Hall running free across the middle has another Lions first down to the 48.
McKissick just came onto the field for Detroit, number 41, and he was involved in a double reverse last week against Philadelphia for 44 yards, also aided by the fact that Philadelphia only had 10 players on the field.
Find that definitely makes it harder. On the run, here is Johnson, and the rookie has the carry. That's his second one of the day. Well, we've talked about the Lions and what they've done on offense. You know, I think the jury's still out. It probably will be for, well, probably for the entire year on the Kansas City defense. What have you seen so far?
I think that they're an improved unit mainly because they're a new unit. Most of the guys aren't the same. You know, you kept Chris Jones and a few others, but not many. A lot of new faces, but they will get better. What as Andy Reid said, we'll get better as the season goes along and they get more familiar with Spags. Their big thing, stopping the run. That's where their Achilles heel is right now.
Oh, they set up the screen. This could be big. Hockenson has blocks. Rumbling inside the 35. That was set up beautifully to the rookie tight end. TJ Hockenson has already got a tight end today. He picks up 13 more there.
The consensus #1 rated tight end coming out of the draft last year shows that he's going to block, lets Passanio go by him, and then gets up behind Joe Dahl, 66, and then falls forward after a nice game.
Said he's already got a tight end today. He's got a touchdown today. He's been a tight end for a long time. You get the idea. Hockenson takes it down to the 2-minute warning here from Detroit. 10-10 game, Lions and Chiefs. Real coverage today is brought to you by State Farm. 10-10 game here. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Good one. Lions and Chiefs both unbeaten, tied at 10. Here's Kerryon Johnson. Big hole. Cut back up the middle. Making people miss. Down to the 25, where he's going to be about a half-yard shy of a first down.
I know Kerryon Johnson is seeing things very well here in the first half because of the blocking schemes. He's seeing where the openings are, and he's making sure he's exploding when he finds a gap. Look at him put his left foot in the ground and hurdle his way back to the right side and try to run through that attempted tackle there by Xavier Williams.
He's having a big first half, averaging 5.6 a carry. Hit as he throws. Stafford going end zone, incomplete. He got decked as he let that one fly, and he's slow to get up. Charles, I want to stick with Johnson, though. You know, he had a great rookie year, was cut short by an injury. Probably would have been, numbers would have been off the charts. This year, averaging only 2.6 per carry. They've been trying to get it going, but today, 5.6 a carry.
And all you heard out of Detroit was, we don't have a problem with what we're doing. We're just like one block away. And sometimes you roll your eyes and go, okay, one block away. Today, that block is being found to give him enough space to run.
They're also keeping Patrick Mahomes off the field. That's why that time of possession is big. 3rd and short, they'll run it again.
I don't think he got there.
I don't either.
But I will tell you this. If points are at a premium and the way you played in the first half, you go for it here. You don't run your field goal unit out and kick it. You go for it here because they've been that aggressive from the first play of the game. If I'm Patricia, I go ahead and do it now.
Timeout on the field. We'll be right back after these messages from Progressive. So 4th down, Chiefs call the timeout, so they've got one left.
Now earlier in this season, and this is what this is what you're seeing, right? Kerryon Johnson's run the ball well. You would think that earlier this season in a similar situation, Detroit faked it and threw it.
And all kinds of movement for the actual snap. Now who went first?
And he didn't even really get the snap, did he? Everything was disjointed there.
Illegal snap in the center. It's a 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Now you kick the field goal.
Yeah, it's a pretty big penalty.
Opportunity. Frank Ragnow, the center. Don't know if they were trying to hard count it, and you see Ragnow's already in motion. See that? Yes, he's drawn everyone off with his body movement. It's a good call by the officials detecting that.
I tell you, you know, I would be jumpy too if I'm trying to get in front of Chris Jones.
Chris Jones over your nose. So what you're saying is you give Ragnow credit just for lining up and snapping it, right?
He has been unreal. He has got 1 sack, would have had 2 if not for a penalty, but he's really been a force since the first couple drives of the game. Here's a field goal attempt to try to put Detroit back in front. 48 yards from Matt Prater. And Prater up and good, and gives the Lions back the lead with 1:03 to go. While we have a chance celebrating NFL 100, one of the greats, certainly one of the pioneers of this league, Lamar Hunt.
It's 1959. Enter Lamar Hunt. Lamar wants to put an expansion team near his home in Dallas. So on the flight home from Miami, a light bulb goes off. What if they can start a new league? The new league became the AFL. It was born right here on an airplane.
Pretty cool.
He was, you know, they were known as the Foolish Club, and he was the leader of that. Guys like himself, Harry Wismer, New York Titans, right? Baron Hilton, who we just lost recently. Our condolences to the Hilton family with the Chargers.
Talking about the Lions greats being here. Barry Sanders, one of them. Charles, that's what makes...
Is that Lem Barney? I believe it's Lem Barney next to her.
You're right. I love it.
I mean, Lem Barney had footwork on the corner like Barry Sanders had as a running back.
I was going to say, that's what makes this game so special. These franchises, so much history here, right? But so long from winning the ultimate prize. Obviously, the Lions have never won the Super Bowl, but this is what makes this game special here today. And the game has gone maybe a little different than most thought today, right? I think, though, if you could have diagrammed it, forgetting about the score, this is how Detroit wanted to play.
I would agree totally. You pointed out not long ago that they're leading in time of possession by about, what, 3.5 more minutes?
Yeah.
Exactly what you want. They're running the football effectively, almost, well, over 5 yards per carry so far. Kerryon Johnson handling it. And I love the way Matthew Stafford came out and attacked right away in the passing game. Not a lot of checkdowns, not a lot of swings. Let's throw the ball downfield to try and hurt Kansas City. Took KC a little bit to get back in balance on defense, and we've got ourselves a heck of a game.
Chiefs have 1:03 in the half, only 1 timeout. Mahomes has time to throw it, looking, loading up, area deep down the far sideline, incomplete for Demarcus Robinson. And the deep shots, which are such a staple of this offense, just haven't been there today.
Everything's off a little bit. I think the pass rush has been good for the Lions. Look at Trey Flowers. Right at the end, gets his hand, affects the follow-through of Patrick Mahomes. And those are the ones you worry about as a quarterback, where you hit a helmet with your hand or your arm gets tangled up with a pass rusher and you get hurt. But you notice he still threw it downfield and gave his receiver a chance. He wants them to know that he has confidence in them, and he'll give them opportunities for those 50-50 balls to go up and get them.
Mahomes only 9 of 17, 112 yards so far. The Lions have made him work. Only a 3-man rush this time. Over the middle, he's got Watkins wide open, holds on despite the big hit. And obviously time a factor. Under 50 seconds ago. Looks like they'll save the timeout.
Yeah, they practice these situations. Watch Watkins, number 14 in white, coming across the field right at you. He knows that Tavon Wilson is there, still possesses the football.
Pressure, Mahomes sees it, dumps it off, incomplete. And even rushing 3, the Lions got good pressure that time. Devon Kennard was there.
And he's one of Matt Patricia's favorites, Devon Kennard. He was with the New York Giants when Patricia took this job. He identified Kennard as a guy that he wanted. A versatile tweener where you can play a multi-level player, rush the passer, can drop into coverage, plays the run very well. May not have all the size you're looking for, but he plays so hard and so effectively and so intelligently.
He's essentially Rob Ninkovich in this defense here in Detroit. 32 seconds now and 1 timeout. 3-man rush again, pressure again. Mahomes steps up, fires a seam, and it's caught by Williams down the seam in field goal range now. And they're going to go hurry up to the line and try and stop the clock, save the timeout. Time ticking.
How about the way he climbed the pocket there and threw that laser shot?
13 seconds to run a play. Mahomes looking, airing it out, incomplete with 7 seconds to go. And now do you get risky and try one more play?
I wouldn't doubt it with Kansas City. They like to press it. I'd be surprised if they don't. But watch this one. Mahomes feels the pressure coming from the top. That was Kennard. Climbed the pocket, stepped up, and threw the Patrick Mahomes laser shot right over the top of Jared Davis, who had good coverage, and a nice catch by Darrell Williams.
Yeah, 6 seconds is tough, and Mahomes, I think, pleading his case, so they'll try the field goal.
He wanted to try it, didn't he?
Yeah, 44 yards is what tie it up from Harrison Butker. 1 of 2 today. Tie it up going into the break. Snap and hold are good. And the kick gets through. And with 2 seconds to go in the half, we are tied in Detroit. What a fun first half. And so Patrick Mahomes makes a great throw, gets him into field goal range, and then Butker with the 44-yard field goal tie this game. And don't forget, Visa halftime report that is. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Tony. A lot going on. Big Browns-Ravens game battle in the AFC North. How about Patriots and Bills a little bit later? Week 2 of the Daniel Jones Show in New York. A lot of big games early around the league.
That guy right there hasn't been as involved as you would expect, Travis Kelce. I expect to see more of him in the second half as we look at our quarterback comparison, Kevin. And Matthew Stafford has had a tremendous first half. Guys out there playing hurt, came right out of the gate and set the tone with big throws downfield to let Kansas City know we're not just here to try and protect ourselves in this ball game. We're here to attack you the exact same way you do to other people.
No doubt. They'll have the kickoff. Final play of the half. They'll get whistles. And I thought they blew the whistle before the play was even kicked off, but maybe not. That'll do it for the half. As we go to the break, tied at 13. Chiefs and Lions. A battle of unbeatens here from Detroit. And you know, we're so used to seeing the Chiefs do whatever they want on offense. The lowest points they've ever had with Patrick Mahomes as the quarterback, 26. Lions have made them work. Used the running game, but the Chiefs moving the ball down the field, Charles. The issue is they just haven't capitalized. Here's Mahomes today. He's had to work, but obviously still incredible talent.
And you know, when you watch him do his drops and his footwork, not a lot of it is that conventional stuff that you're taught at every camp, right? Because his drops are a little bit different, a little more athletic, but he finds a way to make them work big time with that arm of his.
LeSean McCoy, a touchdown run for Kansas City. TJ Hawkinson, a touchdown catch for the Lions. That's where we stand. 13 all at the break as Kurt and the fellas have it from Los Angeles. We'll see you in the third quarter after this.
On top of the world. Tell 'em I burned down my house and build it up again. Tell 'em.
That was today's game flow brought to you by Progressive. 13-13 Chiefs and Lions as we get set for the third quarter. Here from Ford Field in Detroit. Welcome to the broadcast booth. Charles Davis, my partner. I'm Kevin Burkhardt. So, Charles, we're just talking, you know, feels like Detroit's playing exactly the way they want to play.
They are.
And it feels like in ways, even though the Chiefs have more yards, like Detroit, man, they should be winning big. It's tied.
Yeah, it's a little strange, isn't it? Because Detroit brought the early momentum, and it felt like Kansas City survived that wave.
Yeah.
And now we're right back to even again. So look for Detroit to try and get back to what they did earlier, running the football effectively, and they need some bigger shots downfield. They need Kenny Golladay involved. And then when you flip it over, I think Travis Kelce has to be a little bit more involved for Kansas City. And I'm also eager to see if Andy Reid will run it a little bit more. There's a lot of Detroit playing with nickel, dime defenses. If they're going to put that many guys out there on, you know, the smaller guys, let's see if they want to run it a little bit more and let Patrick Mahomes find his rhythm again.
That's an interesting point. I mean, we saw the one big run by LeSean McCoy. That was on their touchdown drive. But, you know, they like to throw the ball.
And when you have Mahomes, you just always figure you're one throw away from that taking place. You know, him finding his rhythm again as we look at the numbers and the offensive leaders in the first half. But I do think they're going to try to find Kelce a little bit more. And I know the Lions doubled Zach Ertz last week. But remember, in Philadelphia, Deshaun Jackson didn't play in that game. Alshon Jeffrey didn't play. Here in Kansas City, you still have Hardman, you still have Robinson, you still have Watkins. That's a lot to ask if you're going to double people.
And the Chiefs will start with the ball. Here's Hardman with that speed. There's a seam. Mecole Hardman fumbles the football. It is loose. It looks like the Lions recovered. Let's see if they held on. Oh, boy. Special teams have been a roller coaster for the Lions, but here they come through. That's the second time today the Lions have done that. Coleman did it in the end zone. That was Agnew who had the kickoff return touchdown last week. With the forced fumble, it was recovered by Jalen Reeves-Maybin.
So back-to-back weeks, as you noted, big plays by Agnew. One will get him way more time on the shows with the replays, but that play just as important. There's Miles Killebrew, number 35, celebrating, but Jamal Agnew, their return guy, turns it around and uses it against his brethren to create a big play and a big start for Detroit.
That certainly is. Now can they take advantage?
If you're Matthew Stafford, you know what he wants is what he told Darrell Bevell. Let's go ahead and attack right now. Let's see if we can get a big play while we got him a little unsettled.
We'll start with the run to Kerryon Johnson right up the middle. And let's go down to the sidelines with Pam Oliver.
Yeah, coming into the game, remember, guys, Andy Reid, he gave nothing but praise to Matt Patricia. Well, that is coming into fruition today. We are seeing how that plan the Lions had for this game to be disruptive. We're seeing that come about. Reid said, we're just not making the plays that we normally make. Defensively, he said, we need more consistency. Patricia, meantime, told me that we've done some good things, we've done some bad things, but we got to understand that is one potent offense.
Yeah, Pam, it's a good call. I mean, they have done some good things, just not consistent. Here's Johnson with a nice hole on the left side with a first down. Down to the 21.
KB, all the room Kerryon Johnson couldn't find last week against Philadelphia, he's finding now. Look at Glasgow, number 60 right there. Look at the blocks out in front. Hawkinson, 88, was out there. Jesse James, number 83. There's Galladay, 19. But once he gets decisive, and he does it very quickly, and he makes up his mind where to go, look how he goes. Look at that forward lean and dropping his pads into Tyrann Mathieu.
They'll pitch it. They'll run it again. This is Ty Johnson with a big seam. He's inside the 10. Make it Kerryon. Stays with him. And a 1st and goal for Detroit, riding the run game.
And that's a veteran play caller right there who doesn't let his ego get in the way. Hey, things are working, so let's go ahead and move everyone this way. Look at this. Look at that out there. Look at Rick Wagner, 71, getting out and leading. Hawkinson with a nice block on the corner. Rick Wagner, the right tackle, led and didn't have anyone to block for about 7 yards before he finds Thornhill, number 22. That means everyone else had married up on the line of scrimmage and handled their business.
Galladay lines up wide, top of your screen. They'll run it again. Kerryon Johnson. And stacked up pretty good. Gets about 2 on the carry.
And what I meant by an offense coordinator not letting his ego get in the way, it's working. A lot of guys will look at that play sheet and go, man, you know how much time we put into this? And I got some plays I really want to run, and this is one of my favorites. And they'll go away from what's working in order to get that called. Darrell Bevell, as a veteran offensive coordinator, understands that's not the way it works. This is working, the ground game. Let's keep going to it.
That's TJ Hawkinson, who has a touchdown catch today in motion. Stafford looking the other way. Sidearm sling to the end zone. Oh, what a catch! Touchdown! Kenny Galladay!
Galladay, number 19, working on Fuller. And how many times do I say the same thing throughout a game, Kevin? If a defensive back's helmet is to the quarterback, that's when you make your throw. Let your receiver do the adjusting because the defensive back won't see the football, and let Kenny Galladay go ahead and make the play. Now, did he complete the process of the catch is what we're looking at.
Under further review.
And remember, this is a scoring play, so that goes automatically to the booth to look at. So Galladay has it.
Ooh.
Is the ball moving? Yes. Yes, it's moving. Now, does it hit the ground on it? See, right there, that ball fits in because Fuller can't see it initially. Both feet are down. That's not a problem. He's in bounds, but will he maintain control, Kevin, throughout? That's going to be the call. And that's why it's at a booth review. And to me, that's a touchdown.
I'm going to give you my opinion, too. I'm with you because it bobbled it, but I don't think he ever actually lost it.
Ball never left his body.
And the ruling on the field was a touchdown. Let's go to Dean Blandino in Los Angeles. Dean, what's your take on this play?
Yeah, this is a really close play, and you guys have definitely pinpointed the issue. He does get control initially, both feet down, but watch the football when he hits the ground. Is it just moving or does it come loose? That's going to be the question. I believe the pass is incomplete, but like you were saying, you think it's a catch. So is it clear and obvious?
See,
probably not.
And Dean, they called it touchdown initially, so is it going to be enough to reverse that? That would be the question, correct?
That's the question. And what's ultimately going to be the decision here is, do they think he lost control when he hit the ground? And if it's not obvious, they have to stay with the call on the field.
See, I struggle about that because the ball never left his hands. I mean, it's still on his body. He's pinning it with his hands. To me, he's gotten both feet down, and he still has the football.
Exactly. And so the hand staying on the ball, does it slide down his body? Does he maintain that control? Maybe this is one where they just let it stand, whatever the ruling on the field is.
Yeah, I mean, Dean, I can certainly see your point, too. I mean, this is not an easy call at all. And again, the ruling on the field was touchdown.
And, Dean, this is the home of Calvin Johnson. Okay.
Well, this comes down to, yeah, we know we've had some history with the Lions and catch, no catch. But this ultimately comes down to control, and that is subjective. It's the one subjective part involving catch, no catch.
This is going to be interesting. We're on both sides of the camp here. I say catch. Kevin, I believe, said catch. Dean, you said incomplete. Can't wait to see how this one comes out. See, both feet are down as he's possessing it there, but this is what Dean's talking about. The ball's moving on him. You know, is he maintaining control?
After reviewing the play, the pass is incomplete. A third down and goal at the 5-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 12:16.
So this is why Dean did what he did for all those years, and this is why we have Dean now. I disagree still, but I understand what the ruling is. And this is one of those ones like everyone watching the game, I feel like, thinks that that's got to be a catch, right? I mean, I just feel like people think
not if you're a Chiefs fan.
Catch, yeah, of course, unless you're a Chiefs fan.
Well, anyway, Dean was on it. That's why he's the best. And now it's a 3rd and goal. So a big call here in Detroit. And the Lions go back to the 5 for a 3rd and goal. Stafford waiting, looking, thinks about running. That lane is cut off. Still fumbles the football. It's loose. The Chiefs pick it up. He dropped the football. It's picked up by Jones. Chris Jones picked it up, and the Chiefs, after the touchdown was taken off the board, get the turnover.
And Kevin, this is where the injury with Matthew Stafford really hurts them, because he's an underrated runner who would have taken off quicker and found a better sight line for himself. Had to go late, can't run like he normally does, gets stripped, and Kansas City, they survived that series.
Change of momentum. Called touchdown on the field. Somehow they overruled it. And then the Lions have to try it again on a 3rd and goal. Stafford hit, fumble, recovered by Kansas City. So a wild sequence. And instead of the Lions in the lead, it's a Chiefs ball. And LaShawn McCoy gets hit right at the line of scrimmage. Tavon Wilson, remember, getting a lot of playing time with Diggs leaving the game with a hamstring earlier.
So give the Kansas City defense credit, because they got a little bit of a gift with the call overturned after the touchdown, and they capitalized on it. They're the two guys. Noddy, number 91, was wrapping up Stafford when he lost control of the ball, and Jones, 95, has been a one-man wrecking crew, picks up the football for KC.
Mahomes swings at McCoy, one-handed catch backwards, and McCoy, that was pretty athletic. Somehow grabbed it, turned it into a nice gain. It'll be a 3rd down and short.
You mentioned earlier in the game that they were off just a little bit in their passing game as Kansas City. That throw right there is pretty symbolic of it, because that's not a throw that Patrick Mahomes normally gets his back turned around. He normally hits him on the run, headed towards the line of scrimmage. Great catch by McCoy, but it threw off the timing of the play. Crowd noise definitely involved with he's trying to hear the call from the sideline through his headset.
And look at that. Crowd noise.
This is the first
discombobulation for the Chiefs. They use their timeout. 3rd and 1. We come back. Sequence of the game so far happened moments ago. This was ruled a touchdown to Kenny Golladay. They looked at it in review as they do every score. It was overturned, incomplete. The very next play, Matthew Stafford trying to make something happen, fumbles. Chris Jones, who's been an absolute terror for Kansas City, number 95, picks up the fumble. And so that takes us right here, 13 all here in the 3rd quarter, 3rd down and 1.
And Detroit has 6 defensive backs on the field, almost daring Kansas City to go to the run game.
And they will with the quarterback Mahomes, who surges forward for a 1st down.
I mean, if you're an offensive lineman and you realize that's a dime defense on 3rd and 1 and you don't run the football, it's almost an insult.
They've been in that a lot, and they haven't blitzed much today, and it's doing the job. So, you know, KC likes to throw the ball, but you wonder, do they try and run a little bit more here?
They're going to stay in that many defensive back look, and you have a favorable down and distance. I'd run it at them and make those defensive backs do a lot of tackling today.
I mean, they're averaging 7.1 yards a rush today. Here Mahomes floats one, looking for Kelsey. Incomplete. Another just miss for this Chiefs offense as Tracy Walker was on the coverage.
But I felt like he was disrupted in the pocket again, Kevin. Let's take a look and see, because the way he threw the football wasn't a full, it was more of an arc. Well, no, he was just feeling it. He was trying to put a little touch on it, but I felt like he had to step up to the right, and Melvin does a nice job being underneath Kelsey and forcing the throw over the top, and again, off by just a tad.
15, 34.
On the RPO, handoff to Williams, and the ball is loose again, and is picked up by A'Shawn Robinson of the Lions. What a crazy 3rd quarter. There's been 3 fumbles recovered by the other team, and a little miss on the mesh point of the RPO, and Robinson, the beneficiary for Detroit.
Exactly as you observed there, because watch when he goes with Darrell Williams on the mesh point. Can't figure out whether it's a give or a keep, and then Williams trying to possess it. An excellent job by Trey Flowers, who they acquired from New England. And look at another right hand coming in. Now, I'm old enough that felt like, you know, Duran Leonard, Leonard Hearns, Hagler Leonard. Those right hands being thrown, or why did I just say Ali? Right, throw the right hand. We've seen that come into evidence 3 times today for big plays.
The Lions get it back on their own 28. Just wild here in the 3rd. Pressure up the middle. Stafford going for it all for Kerryon Johnson. Incomplete. Anthony Hitchens was there on the coverage, and the fans want a flag, but there's no such thing as face guarding. Keep that in mind.
Good call on that one. As long as he doesn't get there before the ball gets there. Look at Hitchens out in that coverage, and Kerryon Johnson has become a better pass receiver. Was he into him beforehand, and the fans think so. And I think it's bang, bang, but boy, remember, you're slowing this thing down like crazy. To the naked eye and that official, that's bang, bang.
You could definitely challenge that. Patricia only has 1 challenge left. They used one in the 1st set, but they elect not to. I think that was pass interference. Here's a handoff up the middle. Oh, McKissick breaking free. Penalties fly everywhere, though. And let's see what this is. A big run for McKissick, but the Chiefs say it's coming back.
I thought there might be a face mask in there when McKissick was going through, the way his head twisted as he ran through the hole. Let's see. Another nice job by the Lions offensive line. There's Dahl, 66, right there. There it is.
I think you're right, partner.
And Xavier Williams grabbed him, number 90. Remember earlier he got caught for it and it wasn't? This time it was.
Personal foul. Face mask, number 98. Defense. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
And by the way, I do realize we're in Detroit. Joe Louis. since the Lions are throwing a few body blows out there.
Well done. So with all that's gone on here, the Lions are essentially right back where they started from before the Golladay replay that was overturned.
See these guys right there? This should be their time. They've had trouble running the football in the early stages. They're running it terrifically today. Here's an opportunity to punch one in.
They will run it to Johnson and lunges forward. Boy, you got to be careful with that football. He did not get in. Tyrann Mathieu was there, and the Chiefs running away with the football like they have it. I haven't heard a whistle. They may let this play out as Bashaud Breeland.
And that's a great observation. Remember, this is the crew that blew the whistle in Los Angeles and New Orleans. So they let this one play out, and they'll let replay take it, it appears.
Now, I certainly thought this play was over. Let's see. Here's the replay. I don't think he's down yet. Oh, boy. That is really close.
That's very close, and that ball is moving. We can't tell there. There. He's right in there, seeing that tangle.
Loose. It is a fumble. Return for a touchdown by Kansas City.
So they're officiating this the right way. No, but, you know, they let it play out. Now they're going to look at it and see if that's the case. They could always change this.
See, that's what got them in Dutch with that Los Angeles-New Orleans game, was the whistle blew and you couldn't correct the call.
So Bashaud Breeland picked it up. Now the question is, if it is a fumble, was he touched by anybody?
Correct.
Let's look. They got to make a hard enough call to see if Johnson was down, which is really close. And the other part of this, if they do rule a fumble, was Breeland ever touched by anybody? By the first replay we showed, I don't think so, but because he went down on the knee to pick it up.
Yeah, the ruling on the field of a fumble is under further review.
Yeah, this will be of no solace to the Detroit fans, but this crew blew their whistle early in the New Orleans game, killed a touchdown by Cameron Jordan. Remember? And instead in this case, now they let the thing play out the way they were supposed to, and replay will have to sort it out.
Big replay.
Touchdown, Kansas City.
It is a touchdown for the Chiefs. The Lions, for the second time this quarter, have fumbled within the 5, and I think, Charles, this is the right call.
Well, he puts the ball at risk by putting it up in the air there. So once you put the ball at risk and the ball's popped out before he hits the ground. Now the next question, when Bashaud Breeland grabs the football, is he contacted by anyone from Detroit? The answer, no. He's on one of his teammates, and he can be on his knees and get up. This is the NFL. So watch, see Breeland comes in, gets the ball. Galladay's got a chance. He thinks the play's dead, and off he goes. And look there, a couple of Lions coming off the field. I don't know if they were coming on for the extra point and trying to scurry off, but Breeland unobstructed all the way to the end zone. So as bizarre as that looks, and as bad as it looks, I believe they got that call correct.
You know, what's good at Dean Blandino, our rules expert in Los Angeles. Dean, you got to give Walt Anderson and his crew a lot of credit, right? We talked about it. They let this play out, and I think they got it right. What do you think?
That's what we were just saying in the studio. 2 weeks ago, Walt Anderson blew a play dead. That was clearly a fumble. It cost the Saints here. They learned from that mistake, and they let it go, which was the correct thing to do. I really do believe this is a fumble, and you can see 21 isn't down after he recovers it. They let it play out. If we would have seen something clear to put him down, replay could do that. And I think they did the right thing here.
And Dean, you know, this has nothing to do with the officiating, but this will be a clip and save for running back coaches around the league on goal line runs about when you extend and when you don't. You got to keep that football and run through, because we've seen that ball pop free. I think it happened with the Chargers 2 weeks ago. It happened here to the Lions.
Just an unbelievable sequence. By the way, we didn't see it on television. He made the extra point. We thought it was more important to show you what actually happened. So this is the extra point. While we're showing you the review, while we're showing you the replay and going to Dean, he made it. I mean, it's a crazy sequence. The fans are going nuts, but they got it right. I give credit. There's so much credit here, but Breeland being alert and running the whole way to finish, because a lot of times, even if they got the ball, you know, maybe they had it at the 5 or the 1, whatever. He took it the whole way, never stopped, and it's a 100-yard fumble return for Bashaud Breeland.
Good coaching by Kansas City's defensive staff, led by Steve Spagnuolo, coordinator, and the rest of that staff is so familiar with him and what he wants. And they did that one fully through on that play.
How the Lions react. It's a pretty good start. Johnson right up the gut on the short pass from Stafford and a big gain. This will be a big test of their character. You get a touchdown taken off the board, then you fumble inside the 5. Then you fumble at the goal line. It's returned for a touchdown. How do you respond? A 22-yard pass to Johnson to start.
It's a good answer, isn't it? And remember, after all that, still only down a touchdown and 8:40 and ticking in the third quarter. Plenty of time.
Feels like we just played a whole game in the last 5 minutes. Johnson. I know you've seen a lot as a Lions fan over the years, Charles, but you have to admit the sequencing in the last few minutes has been pretty insane.
You know what the Lions fans are doing at this moment? Dialing the area code in New Orleans. Okay, guys, we get it. Because that's how they feel right now. Even though I am totally in the camp that they got that last call correct. I thought Walt Anderson's crew nailed it. Even though the Lions fans will not be happy, they did it to the letter of the law in this NFL.
And the first lead of the game for the Chiefs. On second down, 4-man rush. Stafford comes in the flat. He's got a first down there and a leaping attempt by Logan Thomas. And he's got a Lions first down. That seems to be the trend. Everyone trying to leap over each other. Don't know if it's a great idea, but
people are starting to catch on, aren't they? And is it the tight end position? Baldwin, the fullback, did it last week, right, at Philadelphia. And Tyrann Mathieu kind of caught Thomas. He was more prepared than you might have thought. And who was it last week? Vernon Davis trying to hurdle.
Nobody was there.
And Prince Amukamara backed off and said, "What are you doing? I've got this."
And so a 1st and 10. Fake to Johnson, another fake. Stafford has time, looking deep. Now comes back on the under route. It's knocked away nicely. There's Breeland again. So after the fumble return, touchdown. Nice pass defense, 2nd and 10.
He's a nice pickup, isn't he? Bashaud Breeland, former starter in Washington. He's come back, battled through some injuries, has great awareness, tough guy. And a good job in coverage there against Marvin Jones, who can fly.
Stafford, after that hot start, 11 of 19, 168 yards.
You know what we haven't heard much from is Frank Clark.
No.
Defensive end.
Johnson runs over there and then gets hit by Kendall Fuller coming out of the secondary. Emmanuel Ogbah was helping blow that play up.
There's Clark, 55. And it looks like a face mask right there by Tano Passanio.
They did not call it.
It didn't get called. He got away with that one, and it was a clear got the big finger in there and turned his head. That was one that should have drawn a flag.
Third down and 11. Stafford and incomplete. Daniel Sorensen had the coverage on the tight end Jesse James. And we've got a game break. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kevin. Redskins trailing 17-3 against the Giants. Dwayne Haskins entered this game in the second quarter. This pass, not what he wants. Intercepted by Jabril Peppers. Returned 32 yards for a score. Haskins now 6 of 11 for 37 yards. Giants up 24-3.
Look at Peppers wearing Landon Collins 21 in New York. Collins wearing 20 now in Washington.
By the way, the Lions going for a 58-yard field goal here for Matt Prater, who holds the NFL record for 64 yards. That was in Denver. This inside 58-yard attempt, trying to get the Chiefs to jump there. And they may have done it. They get the flag.
Did they actually get that pulled off?
I won't be shocked by anything else that happens today.
Neutral zone infraction number 24 defense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Well, now you got a 53-yard field goal. Boy, that's a great job.
Frankly, that's just no discipline on defense there, because you know what's going on. It's a 58-yard field goal. This is the one that you're rushing to block, but you're not going all out. 58, if he makes that, you just tip your cap to him.
Now this is 53 for Prater. That is drilled right down the middle. It was good from 88. And so the Lions respond. They get the field goal after all that controversy. 53 yards from Matt Prater to get a little closer. It's a 4-point Chiefs lead. A wild one in Motown. Well, you can imagine if you're Matt Patricia right here, right? And you know, look, as a head coach, you're trying to be calm. Give him credit. His team kind of stayed in it, stayed in the moment, got a field goal there after all the craziness. But as we've discussed, I think this crew got it right. I think, if anything, the Galladay touchdown should have been a touchdown, but that's on New York, not on this crew. Bottom line, it's a 4-point game with all the zaniness that's gone on in the third quarter. Here's a big hole on a kick return. And working his way to Anthony Thomas. Now there's a flag, too, as Thomas had a nice return, but that may be coming back. Let's see. So after Hardman, the rookie, fumbled last time, they put Anthony Thomas back there.
Holding number 24. Receiving team, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
And this is the man who jumped on the field goal attempt, Jordan Lucas, number 24, and he comes right back with a hold right there. So a bad sequence of special teams plays for Jordan Lucas in the last couple.
Well, Charles, with all that's gone on, I think you have to give credit to Matt Patricia, right?
Yep.
And for this team not losing their cool, because this kid had gotten ugly real fast.
And I think he has helped change his locker room. You know, he's changed a little bit himself, but for the most part, you're bringing in guys that fit what your vision is. The Trey Flowers, Amendolas, those guys of the world, that's helping them big time.
Mahomes going to sling it over the middle, and that's DeMarcus Robinson, who makes a nice move. He's got a first down and skirts all the way to the opposing sideline. They'll mark him out at the 35-yard line. They'll gain a 15. Marcus Robinson, who had an unbelievable week 2 against Oakland. 172 yards. And 2 touchdowns. That was kind of his breakout game. And remember, the Chiefs playing still without Tyreek Hill, who's out with a clavicle dislocation. So they've been without their #1 receiver. So guys like Robinson have stepped up. 1st and 10. Mahomes fires as Robinson again on the slant, and he's down to the 40 for a 5-yard gain. Let's go down to the sidelines with Pam Oliver.
Hey there, Kevin. Mike Ford, who was to do some time for Darius Slay, well, he came off the field and he went straight to the locker room. So it's just piling on for the Lions secondary.
My goodness.
Wow. So Quandre Diggs out. Slay was out at the start of the game. Now Mike Ford is hurt. Is there anyone I missed along the way in the secondary?
I think that's enough. Mahomes racing to his right, firing, and Sammy Watkins gets up, and now the ball is loose again. And there's a flag as well. And the Lions recover. Has somebody put Crisco on the football at the half? Now let's see if this indeed was a fumble. Oh, it is.
Yes, and look, and believe it or not, a punch. A right-hand punch knocks the ball free.
Ruling on the field is a catch and a fumble recovered by the defense. Pass interference, number 14, offense. That penalty is declined. First down, Detroit.
So remember, Watkins wasn't down. That's college football. NFL, until you're touched, you can get up. So he gets up off the ground, and Justin Coleman, for the 2nd time today, uses another effective right hand, a short right to pop it free and create another big play for his defense.
I mean, did they bring in Peanut Tillman for like a training session? This has been incredible by the Lions today. Just textbook punching the ball out.
But you just mentioned about Matt Patricia and how he's held this team together. Justin Coleman was one of those terrific additions to the team this year.
He's waiting with the fist. He wanted him to get up.
Was he circling his opponent, thinking he's got it? How about that?
Wow. Just outstanding by Coleman, the big money cornerback brought in from Seattle. He's made multiple big plays. Now here are the Lions looking to get the ground game going. And Johnson, who had that fumble at the goal line, has been running well, though, all day. And that time he picks up 12. He's now over 100 yards.
Now, this is why you bring in a TJ Hockenson. Some people said he was drafted too high. Look at what he does. Great combo guy. He can catch the ball, but they really love the way he blocks. And look what he does with Darren Lee, who's one of the faster linebackers in the league. Got a tad of cloth there, but I'm glad that they didn't throw a flag. It wasn't enough. Good job by Hawkinson at the point of attack, creating space on the perimeter.
Johnson now with 109 yards rushing, and they'll give it to him again, cutting left and just gets tripped up. Tawny Passigno was there, third-year man from Villanova.
Looked like Damian Wilson also there, number 54, but they were about one step away from another tremendous block by Hawkinson. Did you see how he came down the line of scrimmage and buried his guy right there? If he doesn't trip up there, he goes a long way, and we're going back showing the replay of Hawkinson's second good block in a row.
J.D. McKissick in the game at tailback now. On second down, they fake it to him. Stafford sees an opening, gonna run, bad hip and all. Matthew Stafford sliding down to the 21 with a first down for Detroit.
Look at this, and so he sees it, and look at the gap right there. Look at what he does, and he fakes with a pump to keep everybody held back, and so they don't come up fast. Look at his eyes downfield, so they think he's looking at a receiver. The pump fake buys him an extra half second, and an excellent slide from Matthew Stafford.
McKissick in motion, jet sweep, they give it to him, looking for a seam and gets belted as he gets inside the 20 by Anthony Hitchens. Nice hit.
Another good block at the perimeter there by Marvin Jones, number 11. Hawkinson on the ground, and then Hitchens from inside out. Puts a nice pop on McKissick, but another good running play. And a little bit of taste of Kansas City's medicine. That's the type of stuff you see from Kansas City in their running game. That exotic stuff where you get the jet sweeps and non-conventional guys carrying the football.
Empty set. Four-man rush. Stafford over the middle. He's got his man wide open, and another leap. And the ball comes out, but they say Hawkinson is down as now he's hurt.
You're just wondering when that was going to happen, unfortunately. With all the leaping going on and his dramatic plays, I hope this young man is all right, because he's given full effort. Watch how he comes down.
I don't understand why everyone's trying to do this, to be honest.
And I will tell you, this is not coached. Okay, there's no coach in the league that tells you we're going to work on our leaping today. This is all things that's kind of come into vogue, and guys see dramatic plays. We've seen some big plays result. Let's not fool ourselves. But this is where this is what you wonder about. This is the this is the part that you say, this is why we don't teach you to do this. And I hope he's okay.
I just hope he's okay. Boy, he went down so hard and his head hit the turf.
Because I think in the high school level, you cannot hurdle. You can't do it at all. Colleges are talking about changing the rule to the high school level, and we'll see what happens.
They tend to the outstanding rookie tight end T.J. Hawkinson. And with that, we'll be right back after this message from Geico. Back in Detroit, 20-16, Chiefs lead the Lions, and concern for T.J. Hawkinson, who has played a heck of a game. We showed multiple great blocks by him. He's got a touchdown, and of course the Lions saw to him. They took him in the first round this year. But trying to leap over a defender went down extremely hard. Hit his side and his head hard on the turf, and you just hope this young man's okay. And they continue to tend to Hawkinson, and now both teams are going to leave the field. And while we have a moment, we hope that Hawkinson is going to be all right. Why don't we take this time, go back to Los Angeles with Curt Menefee.
All right, certainly, as we'll keep an eye there on the attention to Hawkinson. We see another tight end from the Baltimore Ravens, this time Mark Andrews, little 8-yard touchdown reception. As the Ravens try to keep it close, they were down big against Cleveland. That pulls them to within 6 with just under 10 minutes to go. But right now, we'll get back to Kevin, Charles, and Pam as they attend to T.J. Hawkinson.
Curt, thank you very much. Well, that is, even that's a great sign.
My concern was twofold with him. Shoulder, because of the way the arm hit first, and then, as you noted, the way his head hit the turf. Please let him be okay. His head coach, Matt Patricia, who has his own injury. See the boot there at the bottom left. Matt Patricia with an Achilles injury that he's still trying to get rehabbed.
All right, they'll continue with TJ Hawkinson. We'll update you when we come back. 20-16 Chiefs. And this is such a good sight to see. TJ Hawkinson getting up under his own power, will go on the cart under his own volition. He was moving, obviously, his legs, his arms. He was actually swinging his arms. So you don't want to speculate, but you'd have to think now going in the concussion protocol.
Yeah, you have to check him for that by how hard he came down. And a new right guard in the game too, Kenny Wiggins, who had played some left guard early. He's in for Graham Glasgow. Baldwin, the fullback's in. If they're going to throw the ball, find Galladay. He's their big target in the end zone.
First and goal, Detroit. They're going to take the lead. Stafford will swing it out behind Bawden, and that could have been a house ball. Hitchens was right there, and it's just incomplete. Passanio may have gotten a hand on it too.
And I know we're still in the third quarter, Kevin. Don't want to be, full-on hyperbole, but this is really important for Detroit to put it in the end zone. They've had opportunities before. They can talk all they want about one going away by a call from New York or from the replay. Bottom line, though, they've got to capitalize. Last two times have not ended well for them.
McKissick in the game. He gets it right side. He goes backwards. Oh, what a play by Damian Wilson, who diagnosed it immediately. And now a third and goal from just inside the 10.
So if you're watch back here in the linebacker area and just watch how he just flows. Sees it, and its gap is there the entire time. And Chris Jones, number 95, helped make McKissick bow out a little bit more and not able to turn upfield. So good play by the defensive front, and Wilson cleaned it up.
Third and goal. Stafford over the middle, firing in traffic. It's caught for the touchdown. Galladay's got that one. And the Lions back in front.
So watch Galladay just getting up into the seam here. And right over the top of Damian Wilson, who just made the great play. But look at Stafford. And in case we needed a reminder, Stafford's got a big-time arm too. And thank you, partner Keith DeSantis, on the camera work there, nailing it. We watch it all the way from Stafford's eyes to Galladay's chest.
A third down and goal from the 9 conversion, and Galladay on a rocket from Stafford hauls it in. So Kenny Galladay, his third touchdown of the year, and the Lions with resilience after all that has gone on in this quarter. Remember Justin Coleman with the forced fumble, and they convert. They're back in front.
So watch Galladay here, and then he's just going to work right in here, but watch the shot that Stafford throws, because it has to go over the top of 54 and white Damian Wilson and in front of the defensive back. And actually, right in front of Tyrann Mathieu, 32, and Sorensen, 49, tries to come over and get involved. That ball had pace on it. And Galladay, frankly, Kevin, he had no choice but to catch it. That ball was about to impale him. I mean, he just stuck it right between the 1 and the 9.
I tell you what, Charles, there's a long way to go in this game, and I don't know how it's going to turn out. But this Lions team feels different than in years past. It just does.
They do, and they're playing that way. And this comes from something in our research as we were getting ready. There's one word that I've heard out of their locker room the last 2 weeks: resilient. And we've seen some resilience in this last 2 series. Fumble, call overturned. They come right back, put points on the board.
Here is DeAnthony Thomas, and he's clipped up across the 20. And Jalen Reeves-Maybin, who's had a whale of a special teams game, also recovered a fumble earlier, makes the tackle. 5 fumbles lost combined in the third quarter. It's the most in any quarter in the league since 1991. And oh, by the way, one of them was returned for a 100-yard touchdown. So that, by the way, last time there's been anything like that, that was Aeneas Williams back in 2000. So yeah, there's been a few things going on in this game.
1 or 2, right?
Now it's Patrick Mahomes with 1:05 to go in the third. The Chiefs trailing by 3. Mahomes, late blitz, picked up over the middle. He's got a man wide open. It's Kelce up across the 42, the 42. And a first down for Kansas City. Let's get a game break with Kurt Menefee.
All right, star of the day so far, Nick Chubb of the Cleveland Browns. 88 yards on this touchdown run. He's got 16 carries for 162 yards rushing, along with 3 scores. Browns started a run away from the Ravens, 30-18, less than 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Kevin Charles.
Kurt, that's 2 rough weekends for a proud Baltimore defense. Kansas City last week.
Mahomes, and just miscommunication. Demarcus Robinson was running to go, and Mahomes thought he would come on back, never did.
I think sometimes what you're hoping as a quarterback, or what you're expecting, is that your guy sees you and he's able to make that move to the back shoulder quicker. But Robinson was deep into the route as you described. He was starting to try and make the back shoulder move, but it was too late.
Mike Ford, remember Pam told us that he went out of the game earlier. He is back in the game, number 38. And the very back left of your screen there, so they get one healthy body back in the secondary. Mahomes decked as he throws, somehow no, incomplete. Kelce got a hand on it there, but couldn't contain it. And even with these injuries, the Lions have held the run in the secondary, but hang on, there is a flag back by the quarterback. The end of this play.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 32, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
It's Tavon Wilson, the safety who came in to play for Quandre Diggs. And I'm not sure about that, other than I think the hands went up into the chest face mask area. Watch at the end of it, because I think they were there in time, but I think right underneath the chin, or right in the chest area of Patrick Mahomes, that's where the call is.
It's hard to see.
And he said 32. I think he might have meant 42 with Kennard.
Boy.
But that's the only explanation I can give for that one. That's a tough one.
Williams goes backwards as the Lions played it well. And Tavon Wilson was there on the tackle. So the craziest third quarter in recent memory has come to a close. A lot has gone on. The Lions punching their way and scrapping and clawing here in Detroit. Have a 3-point lead against the 3-0 Chiefs after 3. Fasten your seatbelts. Fourth quarter from Detroit. It has been a wild one here. You see all that happen in the third quarter, including 5 fumbles lost combined. 23-20. The Lions lead the Chiefs. Kansas City football, 2nd and 12. From the Detroit 46-yard line, that's where we begin with Mahomes on a blitz. He's rolling. Mahomes in trouble, throws back across his body. Oh, and a flip to McCoy from Kelce. Look at this. McCoy in the open field. That was sick. Inside the 15. Barnum and Bailey from the Kansas City Chiefs.
What did Travis Kelce tell you and I before the game, Kevin? We're just out here. We have fun every day when we play. Well, how about this amount of fun and awareness? Here you go. He's got me, but he doesn't have you. How about Travis Kelce, the wherewithal, and a really nice flip?
That is unbelievable.
Not a design play either. That's just a reactive play.
McCoy gets it and goes nowhere. Lions, nice job as Christian Jones came through the line to make the tackle.
Let's see in this situation if Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, because Kelce has become more of a target here in the second half, start to come alive. Let's see if they do something with formation and try and get him a little bit isolated here and use his size and agility to throw the football. Great play by Kelce. That's him right here on the wing.
Second and 12. Mahomes pressure, steps away, gonna run, and just slides down. That pocket closed quickly once he got out of there for a short gain. You know what's interesting, Charles? You know, we've been talking about the Lions and their resilience. You know, the Chiefs haven't been tested this year in the fourth quarter. They have killed people. And even against the Ravens, that game, they controlled the game. Even though the score was close, they controlled that game from the start to the finish. This is the first time all year they're being really tested late in the game.
And it's exactly what a team with their aspirations needs. You need those kind of tests so you know you can handle them. And now they got Kelce split all the way out at the top, isolated as a receiver.
On third down, Mahomes has McCoy if he wants him. Doesn't go that way. Going to take it himself and run. Is he going to get there? Yes, he will. Patrick Mahomes takes it himself. It's a 1st and goal.
Knew exactly where the yard marker was as well as the pylon. Realized he couldn't get to the pylon without a collision, but he could get the first down. Eyes downfield. Okay, now he commits to going. Sees it, puts the ball out there, and there's where his foot steps out with the ball extended out. Where did they give him on the spot? Ball's extended out ahead of where he stepped out of bounds.
Williams in the game at tailback instead of McCoy. Fake it to him. Mahomes sitting back, pumping, throwing, maybe just throwing it away, and he does.
He was. They were trying to isolate Anthony Sherman with a real surprise play. The fullback show the flow to the right and circle him all the way back to the left, hoping to spring him free against traffic. Mahomes recognized he was covered and threw it into the cheap seats.
And somebody moved.
Is this where the finger pointing goes?
Yes.
You did it. You did. No, you did it.
Neutral zone infraction number 98. Defense, half the distance to the goal. Still 2nd down.
Now, if you're an off, Snacks Harrison is the one who jumps. Watch in the middle. Right in the middle of the line. And there goes Snap. And he's probably trying to say, listen, I saw the center drop his head, Austin Reiter, and come up. How come you didn't call that? If you're an offensive line, don't you want a running play right here?
You would think. RPO, they give it to the run to Williams. Touchdown, Kansas City.
You know, in basketball, the guys who just rebound and play defense, whenever you can give them an easy bucket, give them a little candy along the way, KB, make them feel good, you do so. In that situation, Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, the play callers of Kansas City, they gave a little taste to the offensive line. Because offensive linemen love nothing more than to knock people back and have runners go in the end zone.
Darrell Williams has the first rushing touchdown of the year for him. The extra point is up and good, and the Chiefs back in front. It's 27-23. And the highlight of that one, a little razzle-dazzle. Travis Kelce, the whoop, right to LaShawn McCoy. Big gainer. Walk it on in for 6. Aerial coverage this afternoon is brought to you by State Farm here in Detroit. What a game. 27-23 Chiefs. Still a lot of time to go. 12:09 in the 4th. I think Travis Kelce's fired up. That's happening right now, by the way, trying to get his guys going. This game has been full of everything. And the Lions will start from their own 25-yard line, down by 4. Well, the Lions, obviously, such great history. 1934. Look at some of the Dutch program. How great is that? Lions Fantennial Weekend, Charles. The fans voted in the all-time Lions team, and they were here at halftime.
Did you see that? Barry Sanders. That's Billy Sims there, but before that shouts Barry Sanders, Lem Barney, and Joe Schmidt. You talk about 3 phenomenal names, all Hall of Famers.
Last championship for the Lions, 1957.
Bobby Lane.
Patricia trying to change that and the run game, and they've stayed with it. And it's worked. Kerryon Johnson, before that carry, had 110 yards on the game. On the year, he had 126 yards. So they have worked him, and he's run well. The longest active droughts for the Super Bowl. The Lions have never made the Super Bowl. The Chiefs, it's been a long time. Okay, 1969. So these two historic franchises trying to win one. And it's been a game that's worthy of that talk. They have both played great, and a lot of miscues as well with the fumbles and crazy plays. Here's Stafford back, throwing it over the middle. He's got a completion, and wow, that is a strong play by Logan Thomas, the former Virginia Tech quarterback, playing tight end and looking good. And we'll see where they spot it. Look to a first down.
I think that right there, Anthony Hitchens, that he's going to feel that one, because this is not a hurdle play by Logan Thomas. This is a drop your shoulders, feed him your pads play. And he gets the momentum and finishes the play forward. Hitchens comes up. He was game for taking on the shot, but Logan Thomas got the best of that. Not bad for a former quarterback who actually played quarterback in the NFL. Turned tight end.
And with Hawkinson out, remember he went out of the game and tried to hurdle and took that vicious tumble to the ground. And now Thomas getting even more reps. And we've got a momentary stoppage on the field. Not sure what. While this is going on, let's go down to Pam Oliver. Pammy.
Well, Kevin, as we suspected, Lions tight end TJ Hawkinson is being evaluated for a concussion. He's officially been ruled out after that scary scene we saw before. Meantime, Lions cornerback Mike Ford was evaluated for a concussion earlier, but was cleared. That's what led to his return.
Pam, thanks. Great job on that. So confirming kind of what we thought about Hawkinson, which not that you would root for that ever, but better than some of the alternatives. But he's out for this game. So first down, here's Stafford. Back to pass, slings it to Johnson. Johnson looking to work towards that first down marker, and he hops near it. See if they put him out of bounds. I think he's got it. And it should be a first down for the Lions. It is, out to the 45.
How about the way Stafford manipulated the pocket? In other words, back there to set up the throw, able to climb it, move towards it to find an easier throw. And a nice job finding Kerryon Johnson, who is announcing himself to me today as a guy who's a true three-down back here in the NFL. You can leave him on the field for everything now. He catches it, he runs it, he's going to be their bell cow.
Want it one more time, why not? And Johnson, yeah, he's been great except for the fumble at the goal line. That's been the one negative.
It's a thing. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kev.
No, I was just going to say the one the Chiefs returned for a touchdown, 100 yards by Breeland.
Yeah, I think this is the one thing that running back coaches are trying to coach out of guys, because it's such a tough line. When do you extend the ball and get that touchdown? But in traffic, I know running backs, so I've talked to them around the league. They want their guys to possess the football and hold on to it down there. You're only stretching and reaching if it's just you and the goal line.
McKissick on the fake. Pressure. Stafford steps away, fires low. He threw a 55-foot curveball that time, and Golladay, no chance. Incomplete.
And no one swung at it? You didn't get away with it, right? Sometimes you get those 55-foot curveballs, the guy takes the swing anyway. Manny Sanguillen from days gone past with the Pirates.
He would hit them.
He would have hit it off the. He would have hit it off the wall in left field. And then one right down the middle, popped it up. That's the way Manny was.
Stafford's played a good game today. 2 touchdown passes. Facing a 3rd and 7 though, with 10 minutes to play. Chiefs showing blitz. Here they come. Free runner. Stafford in trouble, and he's decked. A huge loss. Tyrann Mathieu comes on. He was untouched, and the Chiefs with a big play on 3rd down.
And with the instincts that he possesses as a player, I wonder if that was even called, or if Tyrann Mathieu said, you know, I see something, and I'm just going to go right now. And look at him. Times it perfectly. The guard steps down, and right by the tight end. No opportunity at all. Logan Thomas, Jesse James, right through there. And that's why they acquired Tyrann Mathieu. Those instincts and those type of big plays.
And that forces the punt. Thomas from the 21. Stutters. And almost made that work. And now a penalty flag at the end of this play. Thomas thought he was close to breaking it. But now let's see what the penalty is. With 9:16 to go. So there's Tyrann Mathieu.
Return, illegal block in the back, number 92, receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
Tyrann Mathieu came over to the 3-year, $42 million deal. He's getting more comfortable in this defense. Big play, Chiefs ball in their lead. And we're back to Detroit. 9:16 to play. You see the Chiefs 25 points or more in 25 straight games. Patrick Mahomes at least 26 points every game he's quarterbacked, and so it's 27-23. And the Chiefs football from their own 20 here. Pivotal point of this game, and they'll start with the run game here to LeSean McCoy, who bounces off a tackle and works his way forward for a few. It has been a wild game. I'd like to welcome those of you who saw the Giants demolish the Redskins 24-3. So Daniel Jones giving the Giants some life. The Redskins are 0-4. Here is the summary, if we could surmise this thing. It's been hard for the Chiefs today. The Lions have really made them work. Stafford's played a nice game for Detroit. How about the third quarter? 3 fumbles lost for the Chiefs, 2 for the Lions, and then one of those, Bashaud Breeland, returned 100 yards for Kansas City. That's the difference in this game right now.
What?
Big defensive stand here for Detroit. Big defensive series. Got them pinned a little bit deep. Can they hold them?
Late blitz coming. Mahomes floats one. It is caught. A high ball that was caught right in the hands of Travis Kelce, and a first down for Kansas City. Well, Kelce involved in one of the many highlights in this game. But first, let's look at the replay.
Kevin, how much have we talked where they were just off a hair during this game throwing the football? Talk about Kansas City, right? How about the touch there by Mahomes, understanding who he's throwing it to? I got a big target with a big catch radius, put it up there, and let him go play basketball and take it off the rim.
6 catches, 67 yards for Travis Kelce so far today. Mahomes on the rollout, stops, gets hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Mecole Hardman was the guy that was in the area, but A'Shawn Robinson got the pressure and got Mahomes as he tried to release it. So some highlights for the second half for those of you just tuning in or joining us. This was a crazy play. Lions going in, Kerryon Johnson on a play that was let play out. Ball was loose on a fumble. Bashaud Breeland picked it up, and he runs untouched for a 100-yard fumble return. Then how about this? A catch and a little flip to LeSean McCoy. That set up the Chiefs going in on their last touchdown. Darrell Williams on the touchdown run. That gave Kansas City the lead again. And so 7:46 to go. Williams gets it and runs into a wall. Devon Kennard came right through. And a 3rd and long coming up.
He just shows up every week, doesn't he? Kennard plays at multi-levels. Look at him just shake right through Andrew Wiley, number 77. Just goes right past him and gets into the backfield with Romeo Okwara, number 95.
Chiefs need to get to the 48. Mahomes steps away from Kennard's pressure. On the run. Nobody's open. Now he throws incomplete. Trey Flowers had some pressure. Justin Coleman, who's had a wonderful game with coverage on Sammy Watkins. And the Lions defense does their job.
Good job with the pass rush, making Mahomes exit. But how about Justin Coleman, number 27, staying with this? Because watch downfield. Watch Coleman right here in the middle. Watch it. Right there. And he just stays with it entirely. Never let him bounce away from him in coverage. Never relaxed.
Short kick. And going to let it bounce, and it takes a Chiefs roll down to the 21. Well, get ready. All the heart-stopping, nail-biting action of the MLB postseason is upon us. The ALDS starts Friday on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. We know the Yankees and the Twins and the Astros are division winners. Rays and the A's will play the wild card game to see who's next. Can't wait to bring it all to you starting on Friday on FS1.
Where's that wild card game?
In Oakland.
In Oakland.
Be in Oakland.
I always think of Charlie O. Finley and the donkey he had, those swinging A's, 3 straight titles.
Always have something up their sleeve. Now do the Lions have something up their sleeve? The run game has worked today, but not there. Emmanuel Ogbah, tremendous pursuit and a big loss by Johnson.
That could not have been played any better by a defensive lineman than Ogbah did there. How about that pursuit down the line of scrimmage against a fast defensive lineman? Watch him. She's going to come right at you. Runs right through the attempted block by number 11, Marvin Jones, and just pursues the running back. And Kerryon Johnson has no shot of turning that upfield. And a good job by Breeland on the corner, protecting it and not letting the perimeter become open.
Second down. Sling it to McKissick. Gets a good block. Sprints to the edge. Nice move, McKissick. That play looked like it was going nowhere, but he made a heck of a cut to bring up a 3rd and short.
How did Kendall Fuller not finish that play off in the backfield? That's what he's going to be asking himself in the film session. Excellent job by J.D. McKissick, who was a wide receiver first at Arkansas State before becoming a runner. And he's parlayed that into an NFL career. We used to see him in Seattle, now here in Detroit. That's a big-time play there. As you said, described, Kevin, I thought that play was done in the backfield.
Lions are 4 of 11 on 3rd down today, and we get a whistle.
The game is stopped for a medical timeout.
So that means that someone upstairs saw something.
Yeah, they want to take a look at someone.
Damian Wilson is a guy, and he can't believe that he's going to be taken out. But once the spotter upstairs sees that, you got to leave for a play.
Well, you know, did you notice he was the one who got caught with the block near the end of that one? As McKissick was going by, someone came by and blocked him pretty hard in the chest. I think that's what the medical examiner saw. And then at the end of the play, as he was laying down on the ground, you see how he wobbled a little bit trying to come up the first time? So they err on the side of caution when they see it, and they get him out of the game. But watch, right there's a friendly fire that he ends up catching from Bashaud Breeland, and that led to him wobbling a little bit.
The Chiefs bring on a different package anyways. The Lions do too. 3rd and 2, and a shotgun now at Stafford. Blitz. Stafford gets rid of it near side. One hands, and what a catch by Golladay. That was tremendous. Tight coverage too by Ward, but Golladay made it happen for a 1st down.
Charvarius Ward looked like he had the coverage, but how about Golladay with the strong hands, and then ends up one-handing at the end. See, 2 to begin. Then he uses the backside to try and shake him off while extending the football and holding it with his opposite hand. Kenny Golladay showing a little fierceness on that one.
4 catches, 61 yards, and a score for Golladay, and a 1st down, more importantly. Stafford on the fake, pressure up the middle, escapes one tackle and another. Stafford leans down with the shoulder, and the crowd loves it.
He was voted the all-time quarterback in Lions history at halftime here in their Fantennial. And remember, we talked about earlier in the game when he lost a fumble. I was describing his injury, a bad hip, that maybe that's affecting him and he normally would run better. Here in the second half, he's just kind of thrown it all off and gone for it, hasn't he? And boy, his team has benefited.
He picked up 6. They'll run it. And a good cut, and another 1st down. This run game has been huge. They're up over 170 yards rushing now.
So when we had our production meeting, and Pam was asking Matt Patricia about preparing for Matt Stafford when he was a defensive coordinator, and Matt Patricia told Pam, you want to deal with Matt Stafford. You don't want to have to prepare for him. This is what Matt Patricia was talking about. This guy's got a big time heart, and his offensive line is playing a whale of a game in front of him.
We'll run it again. Why not? It's working. And another solid run. That time it's Ty Johnson, who hasn't been in too many times today, but Ty Johnson gets his 3rd carry and a nice pickup of 6. Darrell Bevell staying true to himself, and I think that's part of the philosophy that Matt Patricia was talking about these guys being on the same page, even though they didn't have that relationship. And Bevell said to us, hey, look, it's important to be balanced, but it's also using your personnel the best you can, and I think they've done both today. Stafford has time, gonna let it fly, going deep for Marvin Hall. The adjustment and the catch inside the 10. "34 yards to Marvin Hall."
Nice read by Matt Stafford. He read what they call cover 1, which is a free safety in the middle. Everyone else locked up man to man. And Marvin Hall, and you see the safety in the middle, he doesn't have enough time to go help on the play. So he reads the guy that he wants, puts the ball up there for Hall, and gives him an opportunity. When the defensive back cannot see the football or the quarterback, you feed it to the receiver, let him make the play.
They give it to Johnson up the middle and pushing that pile forward down to the 6. two unbeaten teams coming into today. The Chiefs at 3-0. The Lions at 2-1. We know the Chiefs are excellent. The Lions, we're trying to figure out their identity. I think we're learning a lot about them today.
We certainly are, as if we didn't believe the previous two, where they gutted out a win against the Chargers here at home, where they went on the road to Philadelphia and found a way to lead for the last 44 minutes of the game and win that one. Here they are now, knocking on the door with another opportunity. Remember, Galladay rang the bell last time.
Stafford blitz coming, floats one for the end zone. Galladay, is he in? Touchdown!
From the slot position, he's going to work outside while McKissick works inside to turn it into a one-on-one. And then Kenny Galladay goes from wide receiver to low post player in basketball as he blocks him off and holds him out in a low block and finishes it off. 1 foot down. Oh, the second foot is on the white. And if you're Kansas City, you're going to want him to get a good look at that one. And remember, it's a scoring play, so they've got to take a look.
Did he scrape the second foot?
Let's take a look. First one is clear. That's in.
Right there. I think
he might have scraped it coming across. You're right, Kevin. And if you're looking at it, if you say that he scraped it coming across, then he's got a touchdown.
Here.
Right there, before he gets to the blue.
It's a millisecond before that last frame. I mean, it's obviously ultra close again. Remember, they had a touchdown to him earlier that they overruled in the other end zone.
Wow, can we get that look one more time? Because that is beautiful. And Kevin, I'm going to the eye doctor with you from now on. And I'm using your eye chart, okay?
Well, I was wrong on the last one, so who knows?
We both were.
Let's go one more look. Again, they ruled it a touchdown.
Okay, the first one clearly is in. Now, this is the second one. Kevin's saying, did he scrape right there? Now, if that is before he hits the white line, that's in. And look at that, okay? Did you see that?
Goodness, it's so close.
Did you see? Look at the official. He is right on it. Look at where his eyes are.
Right there.
That's number 61, Keith Ferguson, the back judge. Look at that. He is all over that play, and he signaled touchdown.
Again, it's just like the other one. It's so close to Galladay. Welcome those of you who watch the Panthers beat the Texans. This game has been fun. The Lions, potential go-ahead touchdown. They're reviewing it. A ruling of a touchdown on the field. Let's go to Dean Blandino in L.A. Dean, it's another one with Galladay. What do you think on this one?
This one is close, too. The issue is going to be, does he just drag that left foot before it steps out of bounds? Now, we have this concept of a heel toe if it's just a normal step
right
and any part of that foot goes out of bounds. But again, if he's dragging that foot, it does look like the foot drags just before it hits the white. They ruled it a touchdown. I think I'm going to go stands on this one.
Look at Keith Ferguson, though, there, Dean. Look at that. I mean, right there, okay? That's the official who was right on the spot in perfect position to try his best to make that call. It's excellent hustle.
Let's get the call.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands.
The fourth lead change in this half. I think they got it right.
I do too, and I'm going to give Keith Ferguson a ton of credit. The back judge, who was all over that play and signaled touchdown with the naked eye, didn't need replay to see that foot dragged. You and Keith Ferguson, ophthalmologists, love you two.
Extra point is up and good. With 2:26 to play. My goodness, what a game in Detroit. This has been fun. And we're not done. Just think about this. We go back to the third quarter. Kenny Galladay, they ruled a touchdown on the field. It was back and forth. Dean Blandino thought it was incomplete. They ruled it a touchdown. He bobbled, and then his backside hit. So they overturned this call, right? The next The next play, there's a fumble. So what happens in the fourth quarter? So close again. Same receiver, different end zone, but the touch and then the slide. And the Lions have the lead with 2:26 to go. This has been just an absolute dogfight.
It absolutely has, and you're testing the hearts of two teams. And now with 2:26 to go, Lions up 3. The Chiefs have had very good luck sprinting out ahead and putting people away, essentially. The education of a young quarterback continues when you have these types of events in front of you. And this is for Patrick Mahomes, who, by the way, in his first start ever in the NFL, a fourth quarter comeback for a win. So it's not like he's not capable, but this is the thing that tests you, and this is how you grow as a young QB.
Oh, a lot of drama in this game. Short kick to Anthony Thomas has it. Up to the 20 and upended at about the 21. And so 2:20, the 2-minute warning and 2 timeouts, plenty of time. They just need a field goal to tie. Obviously, they'd like more than that. Quarterback comparison so far. Yards even, but 3 touchdowns for Stafford and none for Mahomes, who's had at least 14 straight.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? No one saw that one coming. And now the Lions defense, an opportunity.
This place is absolutely jumping. What an atmosphere in Detroit. 1st and 10, Kansas City. Four-man rush, pressure up the middle. They set up a screen, a lot of room to run here for Williams. Gets to the edge, and Williams looks to have a first down, depending on where they put him out of bounds, and he will. That's set up beautifully to the Lions' pressure and a pickup of 11.
Plenty of time for them to run their offense. Doesn't have to be quick strike either. That's going to be part of the thinking, too. If there's somehow you can get it downfield and score a touchdown, you don't want to leave much time for Matt Stafford either.
Pressure from Kennard. Mahomes bumped as he throws, incomplete. Tried to get it to Williams. Devon Kennard kind of pushed the pocket back there, and I think it made him think about things a little. 2nd and 10.
It made him skip a little bit in the pocket. All right, made a little. Watch him coming right at Patrick Mahomes. So he just pushes back the lineman, Cam Irving, right back into Patrick Mahomes. He can't get his feet in any type of good position to throw it, and they are missing Tyreek Hill and his speed in this game today.
Second and 10. 3-man rush. Come near side to the running back Williams again. And a good open field tackle that time by Tavon Wilson. And that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Lions holding on to a 3-point edge. Back to Detroit in a moment.
My life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. One slice, got to roll the dice, that's why.
Tremendous game in Detroit. 2 minutes to go. Lions 30, Chiefs 27. 3rd and 8 for Kansas City. 2 timeouts remaining. Three-man rush. Mahomes has time, lofting it deep. Nobody home. And a 4th and 8 coming up.
And in this situation, who's their go-to guy? Travis Kelce. Detroit knows that, so they double him. Christian Jones and Jared Davis, the linebackers. They don't let him find any air. Make Mahomes make the longer throw, not the easy shot inside to Kelce. I bet they double him again here in this situation.
Kansas City calls a timeout. And they've got 1 left. Obviously, they have to make this or it's a game. And so they will talk about the type of play. You know, here it is, 1:55 to go, and the Chiefs have been so good. And you know, last year and obviously so good this year. being challenged for the first time in the fourth quarter. Give the Lions credit. They played a heck of a game.
They certainly have. They carried it to him right from the beginning. And there was a narrative coming into this game that this is Patrick Mahomes' first game in a dome as an NFL player, and he might throw for 600 yards because of perfect conditions. I think what people didn't consider is, what if Detroit is playing from the front? What if this crowd gets involved? What if the crowd noise becomes an issue? And right now it is for the Kansas City offense.
Game on the line, 4th and 8. Kelce is at the bottom of your screen. They doubled him last time. Mahomes, pressure, looking to run it, and he's going to pick it up. Patrick Mahomes all the way out to the 49. They played man coverage, and Mahomes burned him.
They did exactly as you described. They doubled Travis Kelce on the bottom. They had the coverage everywhere else, and because it was man, they turned away from the quarterback, and he took advantage.
Now Mahomes. A lot of time. 8 in coverage, looking everywhere, and he finds Kelce wide open, and Travis Kelce makes a move to the outside, and the Chiefs are in field goal range with 1:21 to go, and he stops the clock.
Wow. Not only was that a tremendous athletic play, an extremely intelligent play by Travis Kelce. Doubled again, but because the play moved, because Mahomes moved around, the attention of the defenders went to the quarterback, and they left Kelce alone. And so Mahomes found him on about the 3rd reaction, and it turned into a great play, and Kelce capped it off by stopping the clock, getting out of bounds.
Well, the Chiefs are already in field goal range, although their kicker Buckers missed one from short today. Clearly they're thinking touchdown here with 1 timeout remaining and 1:20 to go. Mahomes, pressure, and he's going to be tackled. It'll be actually a short run of about 1.5 yards. Devon Kennard was there on the stop. And now a penalty flag, hang on, from in the secondary, and the signal on Detroit.
Holding, number 29, defense. 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
It's Rashad Melvin.
So there goes Robinson, number 11, and Melvin, number 29, had hands on him and was tugging on his jersey as he started to run his route. It's okay to bump him within the 5 yards, but you can't ever grab them and impede their progress.
Honestly, it's a good penalty. It might have been a touchdown.
Might have been a touchdown, so it all ended up working out for them.
1:13 to go. Mahomes gets rid of it, has a completion. It is Robinson inside the 20 now on that crisscross. Yeah. About 1.5 yards shy of a first down, but again, it stops the clock with 1:07.
Nice observation, and if the Lions are going to continue to play man-to-man, expect more of those types of crossing routes because you're getting natural picks in the secondary, natural rubs to bump the defenders off while they're chasing guys across field. And this Lions pass rush, which has done a pretty nice job making it difficult for Mahomes, at this stage in the game, they have to be a little bit tired.
Well, they've been rushing 3 a lot on this drive. You wonder, do they change that up? Second and 1. Mahomes has a man open. It's Hardman, and the rookie gets tripped up, which will be good enough for a first down. The clock's ticking, but they've got still plenty of time, so they don't have to take their last time out.
Good change up there by Matt Patricia and Paul Pasqualoni of Detroit. Now they kept the safeties in zone coverage where they could have eyes in front and come forward and make a play.
There's Mahomes, pressure in his face. He's going to loft it to the corner of the end zone. No, knocked away. Coleman again. He tried to get it to Watkins, but Justin Coleman, another big play. And so 2nd and 10 with 40 seconds.
Justin Coleman's played a whale of a game today because he ends up looking back, finding the football, and not separating from Sammy Watkins, keeping an arm in there, and that arm inside is the one that knocked the ball away. Because Patrick Mahomes has confidence in his receivers. He'll put the ball up there and give them a chance to make a play. And Justin Coleman was the one who did.
11th play of this drive for Kansas City. Mahomes over the middle. It's caught by Pringle, still on his feet inside the 5. And a 1st and goal with 32 seconds to go. Byron Pringle makes the catch. Just his second catch of the year.
And you saw what was the #1 attribute, one of the top 2 attributes of Byron Pringle coming out of school. 1, speed. 2, toughness. Strength. Watch this. As he catches the football, watch him take the hit, bounce, keep his balance, and still drive through before he's put on the deck at the end of the play. Look at that, right through that. And then Will Harris has to try and finish it off, and he's still trying to get past him. Undrafted out of Kansas State, has great kick return ability, and has been pressed into duty a little bit more with Tyreek Hill still not healthy and ready to go.
You have 30 seconds left. The Lions called a timeout. They've got 2 left. Chiefs have 1 timeout. So I'm assuming if you want, you could run the ball here, right?
You can with one, you know, with that. If you do, you might think, you know, a little RPO type thing because of Mahomes, but you might also remember earlier in the game they had a little mesh point issue. Ball ends up getting popped free. Number of things going on here.
Well, we've had a lot of fumbles in this game, so we will keep our eye on that as the Chiefs looking to retake the lead again. 1st and goal, 30 seconds left. Mahomes hands it off. It's Williams fighting his way towards the end zone. And he's not in.
If you're Kansas City, you can line up quickly, or you can take the timeout.
It's actually Detroit's going to take a timeout in case they get the ball back. 23 seconds left.
He was battling, but I thought his knee was down. Let's see, where's the knee go down about where the ball's going to be placed? Right there at the end, but he had a hand underneath that helped him keep it off the ground. Good job. Darrell Williams over the last 2 weeks has really given him some good play, hasn't he? Over 100 scrimmage yards against Baltimore, rushing and receiving. He's really down.
I don't know if he was ever down.
No, because look at the hand underneath that actually held it up.
Hands under the knee. Did he get the ball across? It's close. It's not going to matter now because they're going to run this play. 2nd and goal. You could make a case there. Mahomes, the give again, and Williams is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. And the Chiefs converting on 4th and 8, marching down the field in a 2-minute drive with 20 seconds left, back in front.
If Kansas City does close this out, and watch Williams go straight ahead, look at the big guys, they're able to fire out. Nice job there. Look at Mitchell Schwartz, number 71. Never gets enough credit, even though he's an all-pro. Did you see the positioning and then able to fire upfield? What a great job by Schwartz, the right tackle. But if they do go on and close this out, you need to mark this down as a day of Patrick Mahomes' education taking a giant leap as a quarterback. This was not his best day, but if they win it, he's had enough and found a way, and that's what the great ones do.
What a drive. On the 4th and 8, Mahomes with the big run. And they're going to look at it as they do every scoring play, but obviously this one to make sure that Williams was in. And we'll look at it with you one more time.
Look at Schwartz, 71, right in front. On the backside, there's Wiley, 77. Ryder, 62's in that pile, 76. The good doctor himself, Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. And you know, Cam Irving at left tackle, we haven't even mentioned him today, which is a good sign for Kansas City, because Eric Fisher's not in the game, who's out with a groin injury, their Pro Bowl left tackle. I don't know about you, Kevin. I'm not seeing anything that would take away the touchdown. He's still fighting and scratching and clawing. Did the ball break the plane there? I thought that he got in. I thought he got in right there at the last part. I don't see anything that would change this call.
Hey, I'm with you. I think he's in, and certainly don't think there's anything to change that.
Look at the good doctor in there, 76. Is that a house call for him?
I believe it is.
One of the all-time great stories in the NFL.
So they continue to look, and what that'll do is, you know, keep in mind now, it's a 3-point game, so this extra point is enormous. because Prater's got a crazy leg. You only got 20 seconds left. You don't have a lot of options, but extra point is a big deal. Lions have 1 timeout remaining.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field of a touchdown stands.
What a drive by Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. We talked about it. First time tested in the 4th quarter this year, and just poise, delivering, calm.
Used his legs well on the last drive. Remember the 4th and 8 where he scampered up the middle and picked up a monster first down.
Butker's extra point now to make it a 4-point game is perfect. The 5th lead change of this half. And that one might be the dagger. Just a back and forth great game. Now, does Detroit have any magic in them? 20 seconds ago, they've got 1 timeout, and you need a touchdown.
But there's a lot of schools of thought about how you do this now with your kickoff. You know, some people want to squib it along the ground to get the clock started. I'm not big on that. I kick it as deep as possible because I don't want to give Matthew Stafford any extra room to make a throw and give me an opportunity to kick to get in range.
If it goes in the end zone, if you're Agnew, who returned one for a touchdown last week, are you taking it out?
The way things have gone with 20 seconds to go, I think I give him a shot. I think I give him a shot with 20 to go.
Because if he
Again,
doesn't
it
make
depends
it,
on how deep it is.
Right, but if he doesn't make it basically all the way, essentially the game is probably going to be over.
Well, if he brings it out, you're going to still have 10 or more seconds on the clock. You give Stafford 1, maybe 2 throws.
We'll see.
But we'll have to see. If this is Cordero Patterson, it's coming out.
Yeah.
Okay, but in this case, they may have told him, let's just ground it and give the ball to Matthew Stafford.
So here we go. As you called, it is a regular kickoff, and they're just going to let it go. It's out of the end zone. Nothing you can return there. So from the 25 with 20 seconds to go and 1 timeout, essentially, get yourself in position to throw a Hail Mary. And Stafford could sling it pretty far, but you don't want to be trying to throw it 70 yards.
How many DBs are going to be on the field? As many as are on the roster?
15?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And their cover linebacker, Ben Neiman, number 56 in the game.
Stafford, 4-man rush. Has time, now it breaks down, fires over the middle, and it's caught. They could call a timeout. Marvin Jones into traffic. What a throw with Frank Clark bearing down until it gets him up to what, the 47-yard line, and they will call a timeout with 12 seconds left.
And watch Marvin Jones go get the football as well. He went and got it, knowing that there was going to be contact there. Perfect throw, and he's throwing that falling back. So we talk about Mahomes' arm strength. Let's not forget Matthew Stafford. Arm strength is off the charts as well. And look at that. Perfect dart right in there.
So no timeout. So you just try and throw 2 Hail Marys, or do you think it makes sense to try for 1 more pass before that point?
Stafford has enough arm that I'm going to try and get it downfield. I mean, I'm getting it down there as far as possible. I don't know if I want to put all my eggs in 1 shot at the end zone. I'd rather have 2. The only problem is how long it takes you to get down there from here.
Four-man rush pressure. Stafford gets it off complete and out of bounds. Down to the 44 with 9 seconds left. It was Thomas who made the catch.
Now they could throw another one of those if they would like, counting on getting out of bounds. But remember, if you don't get out of bounds,
over.
That's all she wrote. Will the new pass interference rules get tested on a Hail Mary here?
Stafford, pressure, steps in, going for it all, going for the end zone, and it's up, and it is incomplete. Now, is there any time left? Clock at 0, is that official? It looks like that will do it in Detroit, waiting for the official signal. You have to have 2 seconds or more on the clock to put time back on. I looked real quick. It looked like there was 1 maybe.
Clear the field, please. Clear the field. Clear the field.
I think they want to replay this.
Please reset the game clock to 2 seconds. There were 2 seconds on the clock when the ball hit the ground.
That's a big call, so they will get one more shot at it. I mean, the Chiefs had their hands on it, but so did they. I mean, that was possible.
Jordan Lucas was the player for the Chiefs. Remember, he had the penalties earlier in the game. He almost ended it right there with the interception, but he doesn't come down with it because I believe Logan Thomas, number 82, fights him for it and helps knock it free, which saves them the 2 seconds to give them one more shot.
I think it's the right call.
Yeah, they had it right.
Stafford got it right. He's like, we get one more play, and so they'll try it one last time. Will the Lions' prayers be answered here? If not, the Chiefs with a comeback win. Here we go. Stafford lets it fly. Floating up there to the end zone. It's short. It's knocked down. Game over. The Kansas City Chiefs with a thrilling comeback win here in Detroit. What a game. And the Chiefs improved to 4-0 on the year. The poise of Patrick Mahomes on that final drive. 34-30 your final score. Back from Detroit to finish up after this.